Hello everybody, it's Jeff Freelance. We are back in Final Fantasy XI. This is a makeup stream for yesterday because for some reason the Wi-Fi started going crazy. After all my troubleshooting and everything, turns out that the Wi-Fi just kind of blah right now. There was a conclusion by me and my landlord/roommate that the router might be part of the reason because it's just kind of old. Because it doesn't seem to be doing the job that it was meant to be doing. The fact that it kind of came out of nowhere, it kind of surprised him. Because we didn't have a power outage or a power blip or storm or anything that could potentially affect what was happening. And going through all of the things that I was doing at the time, it just came kind of to the conclusion that do something else. I did bring up the thing of like, you know, if I was actually, cabled in with like an Ethernet cable or something like that, I would actually prefer that. And he said, I don't see why not. So this morning I spent time getting a Ethernet cable set up and we're now plugged in. And I'm hoping not to have any internet issues from this time forward. Unless we have a particular issue over the information coming into the network or we have a power outage or something like that. But that's kind of a little bit more obvious. So anyway, so that's the reason for that and why we're doing it tonight, because I wanted to get over with the stream and stuff. I wanted to make up for it because I felt like we were getting our... I felt like we were getting slightly shafted with just the bad timing with the internet going out and stuff. I wanted to actually get some time going in and doing things. So, something what we were trying to do last night, but we didn't get to actually do is finish up Dynamis Pass Dock. We tried doing that last night, but the internet just did not want to cooperate. So, now that the internet shouldn't be an issue anymore, we're going to go back in and do it. Okay. Here it is. Okay. So. So, go ahead and get back into our setup, put everything where it needs to be, and we're going to continue on. So, we need to make our way over to the other side of the map, more or less. We'll attack anything that kind of aggroes me, but for the most part, I'm just kind of going to... anything that comes and attacks me, we're just going to kind of handle it. Our accuracy power buffs. Continue forward because we need to keep going. Immediately take out Noon Dozer. I'm gonna go ahead and run our character all the way over here and see who gets picked up. Ow. Come here. Oh, I actually missed, so not ow. Need a stinker over here. Come on. Luces have shadows. Let's get rid of those. I'm just gonna pop in this lemon head that I started. Gonna soothe my throat. So, if I sound a little weird, it's because I have something in my mouth. Now, keep going. We're probably gonna grab everything that's over here, unfortunately. I also forgot that I need to... No, I don't have my link shells attached because I took them off last night. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the map where I need to spawn things. I need more and more. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and run all the way over here. Our first area of spawn is gonna be in this back area. I'd just get swinging. Okay, and here we need to trade the... I don't know what we need to trade. What do we need to trade here? Odious Charm. Okay. So, all the way down. Odious Charm. And Horde Soul now summons. Finished Tome, Chapter 7, which is what we want. Now we gotta fight our way up to there. So let's start with the Undertaker. He's the summoner. Now, if you see those red exclamation marks, that's being activated by my auto attack with Great Katana. I don't know how the procs are handled necessarily. I don't, because procs was something that got added in with Abyssia, if I remember correctly. You had to do certain magic spells, certain weapon skills, other attacks with certain weapons, more or less for procs. But that's what those are doing specifically. And usually what the procs mean is that if you get the procs, more items will get dropped. It's basically, if you go through the repertoire of everything that you have available to you in a party, more or less, the procs will make it so you get more items. As you saw when we finally defeated them, I ended up getting a couple of bits of ancient currency, which I might not have gotten at all, or I might have only gotten one out of rarity. But I got multiple pieces because we did the proc. So I know the colors of the procs, the exclamation points, are based on what you do. One's magic, one's weapon skills, one's weapons. So I think red is weapons. Yellow is probably weapon skills, and blue is probably magic or something. That's something that I'll have to look into personally, because we have to do a lot more of that in Abyssia to make things more viable. The best way you'd want to have it done is that you'd want to have it so you can proc all three, more or less. So you have to go through the list of magics of like, okay, what spells can we cast here that could potentially proc it and all that jazz. He cast Benediction, so he basically gave himself full health. There we go. Now, over here, we have another one. Odious Backscale. Backscale, yeah. Trade the Odious Backscale. There we are. And we get Dark Font. Or Fount. Dark Fount. Blood weapon, so he's a Dark Knight. Oh, I think we've locked him into place. I think he's stuck. He's been stunned in some way. Either that or I think he's still attacking. I don't know what happened, but he basically got completely... Mujin Obi. That is a... Ooh, enhanced avatar attack. That's actually pretty good. that's a summoner. That's a piece of summoner gear. Okay, then we're gonna work our way up here. The next one's annoying because we're gonna have to go hunting through like the dark, through the alleyways and stuff of the other half of the area. So it's gonna be a lot more of running to go get them, running to get to that spawn. Then we head back to the south gate and go there. Oh, thanks, Seth. Spells by day. Ah, okay. I was curious about that because certain elemental weapon skills, I hadn't done any weapon skills. I had just auto attacked, but maybe it was Uriel's spell or something that activated it then. Okay. Here, take out. Let's go after the Kusa first. He's got the shadows. Up. Okay. Okay, then where is it? Yeah, that was the other thing, is that I don't know how they act for... Well, when I looked it up, it said something along the lines of... this is the... Oh, there isn't one up here. It's at that north gate. That they had procs like Abyssia, but it did not specifically say that they were different from Abyssia. I can't imagine them trying to tweak that to be different from Abyssia, necessarily. That just seems like a lot of extra work for a lot of grumpiness from the player base. If the system works as is, then why not just... Oh, someone putting me to sleep? Ah! I've been petrified. Where is that Undertaker? We need to get rid of him. There he is. Hey, get out of here. I don't want to deal with your avatar anymore. Your Scorpion, because you keep casting Break on us. I don't want that anymore. My attack, which doesn't have any yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is different for Dynamis, or tweaked for Dynamis, maybe. I staggered that one twice.
Yeah.
There we go. Purloiner, he's a thief. So yesterday before stream, I ended up running some Nice Island survey runs with some guy with someone in my link shell, and ended up getting some decent 119 weapons for some of the jobs. Let's see, I got some hand to hand. I've got a couple different daggers. I think actually, I could probably look them up actually. Where did I put them? I put them in the locker, I think. No, I put them into storage because I went and got some here. So let's see. Yes, we got these ones. We got the supernal knife, which will occasionally do critical hit damage. The Sandung, which gives me a treasure hunter bonus plus weapon skill and stuff like that for thief. I got a Izuna. I got a Plantis Virga. Be great for any of the mages. I think that was all the weapons, more or less, I got.
Yeah.
So they'll be good starter weapons until I can get to like some better like primas and things like that. So. Okay, now what do we need for this one? We need the engraving. Engraving. All right. Pummel Song. He's a bard. What Bard's special is. Does it make it so that you can cast more songs? I think that's what I thought it was. Because for each bard, you can have two specific songs. You can have two songs active. But I want to say that the 2 hour makes it so that you can cast like another song. And songs like have like reduced cost or longer duration or something like that. Just saying another song would be really hard to kind of justify using your 1 hour. It used to be a 2 hour ability, and they changed it down to 1 hour, and then you can mark it down by mastering your job to 45 minutes, which is a lot better. Ah, he activated Invincible. Okay. Ah, okay. Enhances the next song and ability. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. When I get around to playing Bard, I'm gonna have to look into it more because I only ever slightly perused it, not knowing that it's like one of the best support jobs in the game. Because I just really didn't get into it a whole lot. I'm assuming some of the spells are like just really, really good support, like the region's really strong and just some of the other things that you do. Because I know of some of them. I know that you're able to do things like you're able to cast regen, haste. I think it's elegy on the enemy that like weakens them to damage or something. They can take more damage or something along those lines. Or it's a dot, it does damage over time. Let me think. What else can we do? I mean, theoretically, you're able to do anything you're able to do any magic effects, more or less that a lot of the black and white magic can be done. You can't do the equivalent of like fire. Yeah. You have to get good. Yeah. Well, it looked like for Bard, you have to go for like a bunch of things because the Relic and Mythic are instruments rather than like weapons necessarily. I think that's why Bard is a little tougher to get into because you're not just getting the spells, which are different than which is all on its own. Bard uses its own specific magic with the songs as spells, but they also have to get instruments and gear that kind of complements the songs in particular. Like I said, eventually we'll get to that point where we actually will play it and get into really shine. Yeah, I did kind of get that. I was like, oh, they actually have to go get their Relic and their Mythic and their Rima and their Aeon and stuff like that because they benefit in some way or another from all of those. The way I've been kind of understanding is do we go to the sport? Ah, okay. Well, the way I've been kind of seeing it is that in terms of how the weapons are done, when they did the original relics, it was doing the very classic ones that you get. You know, you get Excalibur with Aegis, you get the Mythics, which were meant to be the next set, but they were meant to be very specific to each job because Excalibur could be wielded by more than one job. If you get Ragnarok, you get Apocalypse. You get all these ones that are very Final Fantasy standard kind of setups. The Mythic was like, hey, we want to have it so that every job gets a benefit out of using these. And then there wasn't really any I think they kind of toyed around with like augmented weapons and stuff before they actually did Abyssia and said, hey, we need to make another set of weapons for people to go after. And it was once again geared towards each job, but it was to be augmenting in a different way than the Mythics were. And then the same thing with the Aeons and the I don't know what the last ones are. I don't know what the newest stuff is called. Aeons and I know that there's another one. I think this is our Paladin boss. Staggered him. Yeah. Yeah, I still need to get my mythic. I still need to go get Wind Slicer from Nigel Isle Investigation. So I can try and get the mythic weapon skill going. Okay, those ones are done. Fantastic. Okay, I got an owner's pebble. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. That's actually not bad. Not great, but it's better than nothing. Without making the weapon, right? Well, they changed that with the Imperium, right? You can only do the weapon skill at first by using the weapon, and then you can do a weapon unlock that makes it so then you can use it at any time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because that was them pushing for the without the weapon being made. Okay. Okay. Get that purloiner before he activates his dodge. Uh-huh. What I really should have done, I really should have ran through here to the staircase and gone a bit. Meister. I know looking through my samurai community guide, there are certain weapon skills that you kind of build gear around to enhance those weapon skills based on what you kind of need. So there's one for Tachifuda, there's one for Tachikasha and Tachifudo and things like that. So. Isn't it the relics that are specific to, like, you can only use the weapon skill if you have that weapon, you actually have that weapon equipped? I think that's what they did with relic, wasn't it? They had a very specific weapon skill for each of the relic weapons. Okay, but then they made it like, okay, we don't want everyone to have to go through to make a weapon every single time, just to get, yeah, so they did that. J.Lot, please come on in. We are just about to start finishing up Dynamis Bastock, and then we'll get on to Treasures of Aragon story. Which I'm really curious how we'll go into that. Okay. Now, it'll probably be... Oh, no. Are you faster going left or right? Because they have to deal with less enemies one way or the other. No, I think they're about equal. I just have to go over to the south gate and get the last of these bosses done. Oh, we got 2 purloiners. Ah, they both activated, so now I can't physically hit them. Oh, that's good. Shantoto can blast some spells. I kind of wish that Shantoto would cast bigger spells. She only casts the base level spell graphic, even though her spells hit like a truck. I kind of wish that she casted something better. Maybe they didn't want it to be quite so graphically intense. Not running out of MP. Ah, okay. That would make sense, because if she's casting the lowest level, but still hitting for really hard, you know. Because the lowest spells do only cost, you know, a handful of MP rather than the big chunks you would expect playing higher level. Anyway. Last 2, and then we can kind of get ourselves out of here. Yep, 3 nukes and magic bursts. Okay, now we need to trade the... Oh, okay. I got you. That makes a lot more sense. Hey, steel wall. Go. Big chunky turtle statue. And off you go. Hydrocore's eyeglass. Now, that's the item to beat that. Now, I thought that the spawn of the seven, 8, 9, 10. Is this still the same area? Wherever you spawn the effigy is the same place you spawn the arch effigy. Is that right? I believe that's what I did when I did Sandoria. Yeah, so... Oh, there it is. Just takes a minute. Just need a minute for it to kind of clear out. Okay, so we do 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And summon the big guy. It was annoying doing the Sandoria one because they all know how to do Fanatic Dance, which is Charm. Thankfully, if you get charmed, you lose all your trust, but they also don't attack you. So after a few minutes, they would just despawn, and I could try again. I'd lose the item though, so I'd have to go get another one. But Charm is probably one of the most dangerous spells that you can run up against in this game. And he falls to the ground. I got an amulet. Now, from what I've been able to tell, all the Oniris items are kind of both a positive and a negative a good chunk of the time. Because I just got this ring, it gives you less agility, but it gives you some accuracy boost. Seems like a bad trade-off. But when you get to the higher levels, you've got hundreds of points into some of the other stuff. So, I don't know. Yeah, so I think the biggest one that I saw is that Honor's Lance. I got that one from Sandoria. That goes for Dragoon specifically. It actually builds Enmity, which I thought was a little odd. It's for gear swapping? Ah, okay. I haven't gotten around to do anything like that. At some point, I should. Getting at least getting some gear swap, some gear slots, swap stuff available. Getting the profiles done, so then I can do that. Oh, that's right. That's true. You do have now. Is it only one of the jumps that removes his enmity, or is it 2 jumps? Because I know that, isn't it? Because you have the normal jump, you then have high jump, and I don't remember. I'm getting them mixed up with the jumps that you get in 15. That's right. Okay. Okay, but that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get that done. I already have the relic here and stuff, so don't even have to worry about that. But then we get our cutscene here with Ulrich, I think. I think I need to talk to it again to get the stuff with Ulrich. I don't know about the other 4, but I can't hear his voice anymore. There's another brand I must bear for my treachery. I must truly be hated if that's the case. It is something I would wish for at the moment, however. I pray this silence is just a continuation of our incompatible personalities. If not, then it means our pronouncement has become reality. This is more than a testament to your strength. It is one of the keys that will lead you to Zarkabard, along with the trophies of the other realms. When you have all 4 trophies, travel to Buston Glacier in the Northlands. You will find Cornelia waiting for you there. That is all the wisdom I have left to give you. Now, we're actually going to start out the other 2, so I have them available to me to work on. So we need to jump over to Windurst, and it's Windurst Walls. Does it start at the center of the ring, or does it start lower down? Because I remember that you run around the ring. Oh yeah, I think that is... No, that's a synergy thing. By the Mog House? Oh, okay. Ah, yes, I see it there. Oh, okay, for regular Dyna. Right. And then for the Dreamhouse stuff, you go find the hieroglyphics wherever they are. Maps. Okay. Go markings. We're only going to see the cutscene and then get out. We're not going to continue on. So, those whose fate is linked to this world will empower the prismatic hourglass to guide you. So this is the Taru that came with us. Our expedition was supposed to have been an ally of Taru, but one of us was interested in the fate of the other nations. In our hasty ways to outdo each other, we failed to see to the heart of the Mataru. Our attitudes led to the death of 2 of our members and precipitated the birth of the Shadow Lord. This sin does not belong on Rogrim's shoulders alone. We must all Taru atone for our actions. Please help him. Help Rogrim escape from this horrid war of darkness forever this time. Okay, then give it a second here to load up. And then leave. Yeah, I was talking with my link shell earlier this week because people were saying, "Hey, let's go do Dyna D solo," for the time being. It's available for the next hour and a half or something. And I was like, okay, how do they set it up? Because when I read it originally, it was like, They're making it open. They're making it kind of an open instant zone, like so people can grief each other. Why would they do that? That's just going to anger a lot of people. Then I saw that they were doing kind of the split timeshare thing. I was like, okay, that makes a little more sense. You can go in whenever, but you could also go at a dedicated time where you just go in with your group, which I was like, best of both worlds. Not the most advisable, but eh. Okay, and the last one is Juno. That is in Rulute Gardens. And the smallest map, as far as I'm concerned, it feels like it's the smallest normal Dynamis map. Because it's small. Just kind of a small zone. Okay. Oh, and they did a wave thing with Dynamis D. That, yeah, I don't understand that bit. Let's see, it was up. It's over here. There we are. Is the idea that you kill everything in the first wave and then a second wave spawns in and you have to do a second one, but they're higher in difficulty? So that's kind of how I'm imagining it being. And this is going to be our Mithra. Humans and Galka have never been the best of friends. I used to think that that was just the way it was, and always would be. Those are things, then you get the wave boss. Once that is dead, then the next wave spawns. Gotcha. I figured it would be causing myself grief if I stuck my whiskers into other nations' problems. My next catnap was all that mattered to me in those days. Ignorance is bliss, as they say. Responsibility for Raugrim's transformation lies with us, with all of us who traveled with him on that expedition. By sharing the blame for the crimes he committed as the Shadow Lord, we can finally call ourselves his true companions. Let me help you on your path. May guiding light fill this prismatic hourglass. Raugrim's fate is in your hands. Okay. Awesome. So for the next week, I can work on those and get that year done. When I get those two done and more or less completed, then we can do Buston, which is a huge map, and Zarkbar, which is big but not as huge. We'll have to look how those get done. I have been seeing people wearing the Bahamut helm and suit. It actually looks really cool. Anyway. Okay, now we can go back to what we were doing before, which was the story. I need to close out. Back to the page here. Okay, so I need to go to the tea house. We will first start by getting our sanction reactivated, getting it refreshed. Sorry, let me cough here. Throat's a little dry tonight because I'm going to be talking much more than I normally do. Because I'm usually very quiet during the day. And then for dessert tonight with dinner, I had these flavored wafers. The wafers are really dry. So. Okay, now we have to go to the tea house, which is to the south. No. Yes, it's the south. Okay, so previously in the story, we had a small, informal, council formation in the large Alzabi Square. What was it? It was, yeah, the Way of the Devout, I think. No, it was Balron Way. Balron Way. And there was concern that Aragon was just going to unleash something worse than the Crystal War. So, kind of need to. I need to worry about that. Did I not get this done properly? Stirrings of War. I think I need to zone out and then zone back in, maybe. Because I have left the area entirely, so. Travel to our region, Aragon. Let's go to the doghouse. Oh, I think I went, yeah, I think I went to the alchemy. I think I'm dumb. I think I went north and actually went to the alchemy guild rather than the tea house. Jeez. Sometimes I get my direction. It's dumb. I am hitting 35 in a month roughly, and I'm having difficulties, particularly in this game, for some reason, of not remembering directions properly or getting turned around. I don't like that that's something that's happening, because I'm usually very good with directions. It feels like lately I'm getting east and west mixed up, and then I just, as you just saw, I went north rather than south. Okay, we're in the right area now. So it's like, I walked in, I was like, wait a second, this doesn't quite look like what I needed to do. Needed to be, so. What? How? Fine, I'll visit the Grand Duke's palace myself. Rodin Commoded, perhaps you might consider lowering your voice? How can you be so calm? War's about to engulf us. Hey, would you put a sock in it? Let me finish? You can't blame a spy for getting excited. As I was saying, Ayami has reported that the council hasn't reached a conclusion yet. They've just decided to call a recess. The council has continued long past its scheduled duration, and now this recess? How have they made so little progress? How should I know? No one tells me anything. Why don't you ask Ayami next time you see her? Besides, I'm here on orders from the captain. Well, some super secret state business? Well, not exactly. I'm trying to find a mercenary by the name of Jed. He's supposed to be attending the council. Ayami said one of you might know where he is. What's so darn funny? You got something to say, then come right out and say it. Of course, if anyone would be a more intimate understanding of the state of the Empire than us, it would be Jedeth. Great, now where do I find him? Now hold on there, we haven't even had any proof that you're really a mithril musketeer. can expect us to just spill information on the ground like so many beans, Mr. Naji. Jedith! Excellent timing. So, here's the official summons with your name in bold. Go on, take it. Of me an Allied Council summons. And my work is done. Off with you to the Grand Duke's palace. You're not escorting Jedith to Juneau. Me? I'm no babysitter. Besides, I have something else to attend to while I'm here. See you at the palace, Jedith. Right. Now, where's this place they always under siege by the Beastmen? Time for some action. Oh, he wants to go to Alzabi. Now he's gonna get himself hurt. Okay, so. What the wiki says, we're gonna have a bunch of cutscenes right now. So, very, big story dump, more or less. Oh, no. Multiple are given here, so make sure this one involves you speaking directly with Tryon. Okay. Jedith! You're about to enter the council? Glad to see you made it in time. Right then, let's wait in the meeting room. But before you go in, why don't you take a few moments to gather your thoughts? I mean, they've been going at it for hours. I doubt they'll miss you a couple minutes more. As I've already stated numerous times, it is our best interest to prevent the completion of the Empire's secret weapon, this Iron Colossus of theirs. Vastok is prepared to employ military action to accomplish this goal without your support if necessary. I am in full agreement with the captain in this case. The Empire's intentions are clear. We must not lose this race. If we mobilize our forces, we'll be giving the Grand Vizier and his supporters just the ammunition they need to fuel a full-scale war. The Empress yet retains loyal subjects within her realm. I believe we can still avoid open confrontation. So unlike you, my dear prince, your sentimental view of the situation is making me wince. If I'm not mistaken, your highness, wasn't it one of your agents that described the empress's position as little more than a puppet on the throne? This will be a conflict of epic proportions. Perhaps we should strive harder for a diplomatic solution. While I agree with you in theory, we walk a dangerous line. Despite the state of constant warfare, the sprawling empire commands staggering resources. If we fail to make the first move, we could face casualties on the scale of the Great War. The Great War? Surely you jest. The carnage from this apocalypse will be far greater than all the rest. Worse than the Great War? You all know of the Gordius, I presume. It is the best we're all aware of this potential source of doom. One does not likely forget such an object. You speak of the sacred artifact kept within the Walhara temple as an amazing creation worthy of mention. But it is not the phenomenon of which I wish to draw your attention. I refer to an event from 900 years before. The supernova that was born from the Earth and stole the night sky for an entire year, as it was passed down in lore. Oh, so we're seeing a stellar map right now. Oh, this is cool. Can I zoom out at all? No. Oh, this is really nice though. This is showing us stellar maps. So to the north we have the Behemoth with the North Star. We have Sleipnir with Odin. We have Alexander with Gordius. We have the Cactuar, Shiva, the Chocobo, Tonberry, Titan, Daedalus, Garuda, Voidchop, Aelmatra, the Vulture, Uldum, Ramu, the Bomb, the Moogle, Leviathan with Vedal, Ifrit with Valbub, Valdub or Valrub. Can't quite see that. Now, this I recall from my lessons. This was the miracle bestowed by the gods that marked the beginning of the Crystal Era. After the code finally faded, this star of the first magnitude became part of the Alexander constellation, correct? It was merely coincidence that the supernova's trajectory passed in front of that star. The truth of the matter is more fascinating by far. The trajectory? I don't understand. I discovered an ancient papyrus in the extensive vaults of the observatory. The following was written in a script bold and flowery. When the light deity clashed with the dark, rent in twain were the heavens, and devastated was the earth by a storm beyond comprehension. I must admit I was feeling a degree of shock, for this is a simple passage describing the arrival of Ragnarok. Ragnarok, the northern legend that tells of the twilight of the gods? You mean to tell us that this supernova was in fact the aftermath of a battle between divinities? Oh, so close to the mark. Shall I endeavor to bring you out of the dark? This is my hypothesis based on the facts at hand. The old Empire of Aragon launched their Iron Colossus, imbued with the spirit of the light deity, high into the air and attempted to dominate the entire land. The nation that revered a rival deity was unsurprisingly not amused. They sent up their dark rider born from sacrifice and with utter darkness infused. Kind of sounds like, what is going on with the Ayami's neck? That just kind of broke there. This does make me think of, Zodiark and, I keep thinking Altana, it's not. For 14, it sounds very similar. A fierce battle raged in the skies, and eventually both combatants fell to earth, the giant to pieces and the rider with grave wounds to his material form. But this titanic struggle had blasted the land into ruin and left a void in the heavens that spawned a cataclysmic storm. An apocalypse. What a ridiculous story! How could an Iron Colossus be made to fly? And what does this have to do with the name of the Gordius? We Tataru have always been notoriously fussy about our cuisine. The name was probably heard from a trader in foreign goods, is what I mean. The name of the Colossus' heart, given to a star. We have let ourselves be distracted by the quintessences. The Gordius should have be our true concern. We can only hope that the Grand Vizier has failed to notice the true value of the treasure under his nose. We must hurry to bring this matter to a close. I hope that I can actually bring some light to the situation. Naji reporting in. I brought Jedith back with me. You're late. Where in Altana's name have you been? Take it easy, Ayami. Jedith, we are grateful you could come. Your insight would be invaluable. Please describe to us your impressions of the events unfolding in the Empire. Ella, it's good to see you again as well. Thanks to your talents, getting the program data we needed was far less complicated than expected. The Empress appears to have only a tentative hold on consciousness. There's nothing to be concerned about. When reading someone's memories with my altered perspective, it occasionally releases images and thoughts sealed deep within the mind. The state of regression is only temporary. She will recover in time. Let us begin. So, this day has finally come. That voice! But isn't Nashmira? Then who? I know not who you are, but it appears you have completed construction of Azadal and unraveled the Gordius. Congratulations are in order. You will soon hold the most awe-inspiring weapon in Urgum in the palm of your hand, the power of light. Father? But the power of Alexander is a double-edged sword. Mother! It's an infinite energy of a star. The legends, not to mention the ruins, speak eloquently of the discretion that will befall should you make a single misstep. If it is not too late. If you possess a shred of compassion, you will halt the program immediately. We hope you choose the wiser course. Cunning trick, Najmira. Defiant until the last. Alexander. Behold, this is the will of Alexander. I fear no legend or signs of past failures. I will carve out my own destiny. Oh! Oh no! Hobchang? Meijing? No. I'm not gonna scream that loud. No. Okay. Thank you, Jedith. I am sure we all felt the immediacy of your experiences. And if we can believe the words of the Grand Vizier, a war with the Empire seems inevitable. I'm afraid I have to agree with you. Then a war it shall be. Preparations must be made with all urgency. Basak's armada is ready to sail. Once I give the order, the seas will be ours. Are we committed? Oh, our amphibious Cardigan advanced units were already given the order to deploy. They lay hidden in the Watching Woodlands, primed and waiting to destroy. Already deployed, was the decision of this council a foregone conclusion? Now hold on a minute. For what I could gather from Juno's just explanation, this Lusoff character wants to prevent Ragnarok as much as we do. Naji, remember your station. And the Empress is of the same mind. Isn't that right, Jedith? The way I see it, there's no need to go head-to-head with the Empire's forces. If we can spare Lusoff out of their clutches, then he can at least put a stop to this Ragnarok business. We might even have a chance to restore authority to the Empress while we're at it. Ayami, Jedith, we've all been to Ottergon. We've all seen the lives, the smiles, the tears of her people. The citizens of the Empire are as much of the children of Tana as we are. War should be considered only after every other avenue has been exhausted. Naji. A voice of reason from Bastok, the nation of minds and gloom? And you would plan a strategy yourself, I assume? What? Yes, of course. Wonderful. I admire your ambition. I shall offer the latest model of Cardian to escort you on this mission. Thank you, Dr. Shantoto. Very well. Then you shall have 2 veteran knights to accompany you as well. From Juno, you will have the use of our fastest airship with an ace pilot at the wheel. Prince Tryon, Sir Wolfgang. It appears I have no choice. I will inform the president of this operation myself. Captain Volker, then I should... On one condition. Jedith is to go with you. Will you accompany Naji? Tell me in. I just left the Empire. It will be dangerous, but please lend Naji your experience and expertise. Looking forward to working with you, Jedith. Excellent. I will have Fair Mostiel prepare your transportation at once. I'm sure we all have urgent tasks to attend to. I declare the session of the council at an end. May our actions find Altana's fortune. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go find him just for Mostiel for just a second here. Apparently there's a brief cutscene. What is it? Do I look like a tour guide? My apologies. You're here for the Wadroom infiltration operation, correct? The airship Ammonium is being prepared for flight. A Demion, yeah. Okay, so we have to wait just a few minutes here. What to do within that time? Okay. We're gonna head into Port Unit for just a minute here. Okay. I also want to take a look at a couple of spells that I haven't been able to get. There has been a lot of people farming particular arenas that drop things like the original, Phalanx 1, as well as some of the ninjutsu spells. So what's the difference between the two of these? I do know I have to go looking for Phalanx, though. They're still going for quite a bit. I'm going to keep an eye on them on a daily basis, just to kind of make sure that we're not missing out on those, because I want to make sure I get them. Normally they go up by quite a bit more, but because everybody's selling them, because everyone's doing the big fight for eye seals, it's just been an influx of supply, which will drop the cost. Yeah, let me think. Oh, another thing that we could do, we can check to see if anything that I've been putting up on the auction house is sold. We have to find just something to do to burn a few more minutes. Two more in-game hours. Okay, nothing is sold yet. Kind of a bummer. Okay. Let me think here. I can just go ahead and probably throw some of these items into my mock house. Throw them into storage. If we had more time, I probably would go unlock another job. Probably do Ranger. Ranger would be really simple, but in just a couple of minutes, we'll be into the next game day, and then we can continue, which is nice. Storage. Bunch of other junk. Let's see. We can get the items. We can toss out the odious ones. I can get those easily enough. Then we need to go jumping into the storage. My Mog Locker. And throw in the... You can save one of those. Let's throw the bind bill in there. The boots ore. Was I also throwing in the infinity, of course. Yep. The forgotten fragments. Oh, there we go. There we go. Go into my sack. I think so. You save one of these gold beast coins. Specifically because the silver and gold beast coins are used for the... Oh, what's the area that you go into the Leviathan? It's right outside Norg. I don't remember. But they have beastman coins that they have doors that you have to press. So there's like a silver coin, and you have there's a silver door. You press a silver beast coin into a slot, and it pops open. There's one for gold as well. I think there's one for mithril. So I will need those just for that specifically. Oh yes, I wanted to open up these the cotton purses. Oh, I can't do that here. I have to walk back out. That's okay. So open up the cotton purses. This is for getting pieces of Alexandrite, which is needed for the mythic weapons. So I remember you have to get a lot of it. Okay. Back into the... Nope. We want to go into the Mog Locker. Then do a sort. There we go. Okay, and then I think the next thing I want to do is I want to send the crystals that I have into storage, and then we should be, yep, we're in the next day. Let's quickly go find an ephemeral Moogle to give this to. Mortius, good name. There we go. Okay, let's continue. The airship Edemion is all fueled up and going through a final flight check. Are you ready for deployment? I am. Very well. Please continue into the courtyard. The other members of your team are assembled and waiting. Everyone except your mission leader. Naji, was it? Jedith, it is good to see you. Do you remember the king? I must apologize for my actions last time we met. I have been repaired at the monastery and will no longer be so erratic. As recompense, I hereby promote you to provincial Jack rank. Wow, you all got here fast. Or am I a little late? You are late, team leader Naji. My apologies. I brought a secret weapon from Baston. I had a devil of time getting it unwrapped. Secret weapon? There are no secrets among this team. Yeah? Oh, fine then. This is an ancestral detection device designed by Chief Engineer Sid. I don't really understand how it works exactly, but apparently it will help us zone in on the general location of Luzov or the Iron Colossus. We do not require any such toy. You have access to the latest technology from Windurst. Toys? That's rich, coming from an overgrown spinning top. How dare you address the king in such a manner? Enough of this prattling. You're not here for fun and games. If preparations have been made, then I suggest we move out. Wait up, Jeth. I'm on strict orders from Captain Volker to stick by your side at all times. Provincial Jack, I will not leave. Do not leave your king behind. Thank you for your attention, Jedith. I'll go over the mission again for your sake. I have the details memorized, of course. This Edemion will touch down on the waters of the Sickle Moon Straits and will travel north under the cover of darkness. Once we reach the coast of Wajom Woodlands, our ground team will disembark. We will then don our mercenary disguises and slip into Alzabi unnoticed and rendezvous with Rodin Commodin. We rendezvous with Rodin Commodin and Ottergon Whitegate. Ah, yes, that was the name. Wait, how are you supposed to sneak in, King? I will melt into the crowd with my mastery of mercenary terminology. Observe. Need tank? Please send tell. Okay. Well, don't worry, Jedith. I've got your back. I love a little meta humor. 10 degrees to starboard. What in the... Right, Altana, that light! What? Ah! What's going on out there? I think we just got shot at. No tricks. Keep moving, slug. The The Age of Judgement is at hand. Whoa! That was cool. We just got shot out of the air. Holy cow. Freaking terrifying. Was that Alexander in the... Oh my gosh. Incredible. We were able to shoot down that airship from an amazing distance moments after we had detected it. To be honest, I hadn't even made visual contact. The dot appeared on the control panel display. I merely moved the targeting reticle over the dot and pulled the trigger. Amazing. I put this device together with my own hands, but there's still so many functions I have yet to understand. It's actually a little embarrassing. Do not let it concern you, Godsod. More importantly, we have confirmed that the Colossus will follow my commands. Did you witness that power? We have realized the 1,000-year ambition of our ancestors and once again harnessed the divine might of Alexander. Yes, Grand Vizier, all of Urguum will bow to the authority of the Empire. Our nation will finally have the undisputed peace it deserves. Your pardon, Grand Vizier, I come with word of the Empress. Speak. Sir, Lady Neshmira has fled the palace. As per your orders, we did nothing to stop her. So her apparent docility was nothing more than an act. Her destination? We lost her. Did you manage to elude the immortals? Impressive. My most abject apologies, Grand Vizier. Your soldiers combing every elm of the capital. We will find her. Let her go. But sir... Najmira has lost the absolute authority of her position as well as her two closest companions in the space of a week. Her emotional strength will be sorely tested. If she cannot overcome this trial, I fear she will not be fit to serve the Empire in any case. Sir, there are more important matters that demand our attention. We must first focus our efforts on rooting out the rebellious elements within our own walls. Raban, what is the situation with Luzov? Sir, he's being transferred to the facility in question, as you ordered. Good. Once he has been dealt with, I'll make a proclamation to the people. Then the time has come. Yes, we shall unleash Alexander to defeat the Dark Rider, then proceed to overpower our rival nations. I assume there are no objections to this plan? There is one small detail concerning the transfer of the prisoner, Luzov. Explain. I think I just heard myself collapse. Jeth? Hey, Jeth, are you okay? Oh boy. He lives. I was about to bring out the repair kit. We were a bit banged up, but nothing serious, it seems. Jumping over the side was the right decision. The ones that stayed on the ship weren't so lucky. I'll check the wreck for survivors. You and the king should continue with the mission. After what happened here, I don't think we have any time to lose. Leave the wounded to me. Musket training includes a thorough course in first aid. Ah, I almost forgot. You better take this device, King. Bring my best to Rohin Komoden, I guess. Game leader Naji. Our contact's name is Rohin Komoden. And this toy is broken. But no matter, the king is the perfect guardian. Come, Provincial Jack. We make haste for Alzabi. So we come out of the late point, which I think is where you get warped to if you use a certain ring? One way or another, it's not hard to get back to where we need to go, so. Actually, you know what? Because we're right here, let's go ahead and grab a chocobo. Haven't heard the music of chocobo in a while. Oh, that's right. I have I have the mount stuff turned on, but I get to ride a chocobo. I actually need to turn go this way. Jervis Tech 83, please come on in. We are doing the Treasures of Argon storyline. We just got shot down by Alexander, and we're making our way to infiltrate Argon, which makes no sense because we're a mercenary. Just something we do. Thinking of potentially adding an alert when moderators catch bots in the stream and they kick them out, having something happen. Putting up a little video or something like that. I don't know, though. I feel like I should just ignore them. Well, of course, they get immediately banned, so it's not like they are able to stick around or anything like that. Dismount. And then we get to Argon Whitegate again. Okay, now we need to go find him outside the automaton shop. Jeth, I heard the news from Lady Karababa. You've had quite the adventure already, it seems. Where's the King of Hearts? I thought he was supposed to be with you. Water in the bay, splishy splashy water. King of Hearts? Welcome, welcome. So good to have you back in Alzabi. Lady Karababa, the king is here and at your service. Huh? The king has come with a present for you. A toy for Lady Karababa. King? This device seems to be broken and soaking wet. A wonderful jest, Lady Karababa. And I'm sorry to correct you, but you seem to have mistaken me for Lady Karababa. I am Rodin Commodin. Commodin. Oh, another marvelous joke. Oh no. King of Hearts, where exactly did you enter Alzabi? I came in through the port, Lady Karababa. Through the port? You mean underwater? You're saturated with your star fruit again. You're designed to withstand a certain amount of moisture, but you jump in the bay. I am fully functional, Lady Karababa. For you, I would jump through fire, water, chocolate pudding. But we should start getting back to the mission. Hide and seek. Search and destroy. Lose off. Here we come. Well, you see, King, Luzov has been taken outside of the capital to another holding facility. To teach him humility? That's what we've part. A change of plans, Lady Karababa. Not to worry, my dear King. We've taken care of everything. As your ring is the ruins of Alzadal is his new location. Alzadal? We have Rodin Commodin to thank for this information. For everything is hard. How does she keep it up? Wonderful news. Rodin Commodin is to be commended. Oh, too right you are. He's earned a shiny gold star. Oh dear, that was terrible. Then we must make for Nigel Isle. Another dip in the splishy splashy water. Oh dear. We can't take King alone with us in this state. He'll bring the entire Imperial Army down upon us. Are you ready to go, Lady Karababa? Oh, just a moment, King of Hearts. I am just going over the charts. Jeth, I'll do my best to keep the king occupied and out of your way. Unfortunately, that leaves you and you alone to break out Lusov. Think you can do it? Leave it to me. I knew you'd come through for us, Jeth. Here, you'll need this. Hands over a Nigel Isle route. This is the secret route Lusov and his captors took through Nigel Isle. Travails is almost killed obtaining this information, so don't let his effort go to waste by being careless. Lady Karababa, Nigel Isle is this way. Oh, please, King, one moment more. Oh, I know. First, I believe I need something sweet before we undertake this chore. Sweets before the mission? Yes, something tasty and sweet. I think I recall a lovely shop just down that street. Sweets are the best for the weary soul. Phew. Right then, Jeth. May Altana's fortune find you. All right. We have a course. Not set sail, I guess, but heave ho. Let's give it a go. All right. I'm gonna get stuck in that stupid rhyming scheme. Anyway. So, I'm gonna do a quick hippity hop and get back over to region. Gone. To yes. Oh, before I do anything, let me go ahead and grab this and make sure that I do a lock to this position just in case. Set as home point. I believe mine was back in Mura. the other day because I was doing that before I was going to do stream. All right, now. Okay, so. Mission Path of Darkness will prevent you from entering Solid Team Sentinels until the mission is complete. Yes. Letting this Andorian spy live was the right move, it seems. It was all unfolded just as the Grand Vizier predicted. And so you have come. A pity. I always respected you, Jedith, but such are the twists of fate. Grand Vizier has decreed that your time in this stage has come to an end. One, two, three. At 50 Imperial gold pieces per... Jedith! This level assistance will cost you 150 Imperial gold pieces. Naja, what is the meaning of this? That's what I'd like to know. This employee still has a pile of tuition fees to pay. If you let him come to a messy end here, I'm losing out on a lot of cash. You worry for a few measly coins. If you stand against me, your entire company is at stake. Oh, I'm just shaking in my boots. Need I remind you that my company has the personal backing of the Empress? Times have changed, foolish Mithra. My help is expensive, Jedith. Better take care of this quickly if you don't want to spend the rest of your life paying it off. For the Sentinels! Okay, so then I think I have to run off to the Runic Seal, which is off at the far end of here. Path of Darkness. Seems it's fairly busy. Shoot. I think I know why, because people are doing the running Agile Island and the server's kind of full. There we go. Somebody left the area, so there's room for me to jump in, so. Okay, here we go. first fight. We're fighting Amnaf. Formation Genly sick. Eliminate the intruders. Go. Oh, are we done? I wasn't done racking up the fees. You got more in you, right? Oh, because she ran. Says, awaken powers of the Lamai. Alrighty, let's get the show on the road. I hope you got deep pockets. Should not be surprised. Even Rishvi praised your strength. It would be wise to surrender. A fate worse than death awaits for those who anger an immortal. First essences of creatures devoured. Infuse my blood with your beastly might. You are too strong for me. I cannot win in this way. A lot of Imperial gears. Now we're talking. I can hear the clinking of coin mountains collapsing over my desk. Let's get this over with. She now becomes a mind flayer. I cannot let you pass. Ooh. Not possible. I will not allow for the Grand Vizier. I will stop you or my Rastfad. Amnaf, my dear immortal lion. The part in this is over. You have earned eternal rest. Ew. Now this is an interesting development. My tail is twitching all over the place. Snowjeth, we run in different directions and meet up back at the office. Now! Jedith, one day I shall feast on your soul. One day. Armament lens. Okay. I don't know. If we work at it, we might actually finish this tonight. We might actually finish up the entire story of Treasures of Aragon, which would be great. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, now. Are you sure nothing happened while I was away? Yes, President Naja. It's been perfectly peaceful and quiet. I don't think there's a single person in Argonne who would be foolish enough to make trouble for Salahim's sentinels. I really thought the Immortals would have been breaking down the door by now. The Immortals? Great Wallara. President Naja, what on Urgum happened to you? Jeth, what on Urgum happened to ya? Been gone so long, I was starting to get worried. I wouldn't want anything happening to such an important investment. I mean, after the debt you racked up out there, your welfare is on prime importance to my purse. So, you're fine, I'm fine, we're all fine. It all just seems a little too perfect. Half expecting a squad of immortals to drop down on us from the ceiling. What? That reminds me, President Naja. Reminds you of what? I forgot to mention, Lady Afma was waiting for you in your office. You forgot to... Lady Afma was here? 1,000 pardons. You said she wished to speak with you directly, so I asked her to take a seat and served her some chai. Why is she trying to force the door? It's not locked. Ah! I need to speak with you, Naja. Abquaba, show some respect. Huh? Oh, of course. Not to me, you great blockhead. It's not your fault, Naja. Abquaba was never told. That's no excuse. He deserves to be flayed for showing such a lack of etiquette towards a guest of noble blood. I beg your forgiveness, your magnificence. Your Pull it together, Abquaba. I know it's shock. Even I was overwhelmed the first time I met the Empress. I mean, it's her magnificence. Yes, ma'am. When this slip of a girl changes the tone of her voice from teenager to all-power Empress right before your eyes. So the royal puppeteer Afma was also... other than the benefactor of Salahim's sentinels and the beloved leader of Argonne. Hey, what are you two whispering about? Well, out with it, Abquaba. Yes, your Abquaba? Nothing to be concerned about. Your magnificence. Mercenaries are trained to sleep anywhere, anytime if the opportunity presents itself. How curious. Mercenaries really are quite amazing. Not to change the subject or anything, your magnificence, but I thought the Salahim Office Academy might be the safest place for you to take refuge. I'm sorry, Naja, but I couldn't just hide and cower while you were risking your life. I'm so glad you're okay. You are too kind, Empress. I fear for you as well, Jedith. If I hadn't run into him on Nigel Isle, there'd be one less mercenary on the company roster about now. Why? Why were you even on Nigel Isle, Jedith? Allow me to explain. After receiving the Lumian dagger from your magnificence, I dispatched a mercenary to Nigel to investigate. As we discussed at the Academy, the block we believed to house the Iron Coliseum was under heavy guard with restricted access. I wonder if that's where they've moved Lusov. After scouting the place myself, I believe it to be so. I see. But why was Jedith there? Well, I located a single unguarded passage and, thinking a patrol had gotten careless, took the opportunity to proceed. That's when I found Jedith in a standoff with an immortal. Jedith was already there? Searching for Lusov without my authorization? Oh, you were looking for Lusov, Jedith? Thank you! You are too generous with your praise, your magnificence. Neither Jedith nor myself succeeded in rescuing the Admiral. Still, you put yourselves in harm's way and did what you could. You have no idea how much that means to me. Once again, you are too kind, your magnificence. Empress, what shall we do? Even if I marshal the full strength of Salahim's sentinels in an effort to destroy the Colossus or rescue Luzov, I don't think we can force our way past those defenses. There is another way. Once, when I was a child, my mother took me on a trip into the depths of Nazul Isle. You went on that insanely dangerous place with a mother-daughter excursion? I was never in any danger. It's nothing more than a single hop if you know how to use the transporters. But why would you want to go there at all? It was a special place for my mother and father. I'm sorry, I don't really remember much of that time. What I do remember clearly is my mother holding up this mythic mirror in the transporter that sent us directly to the innermost chamber. The mithril mirror was so pretty that I nagged her constantly until I had a hoard of them in my bedroom. So, all I had to do was hold it up in the transporter? As far as I know, and since my mother said it was our little secret, I'm fairly certain my brother wasn't aware of it. But if we should use the transporter and suddenly appear in the midst of a battalion of immortals, you would all be captured. That's why I never mentioned it before. Sounding sentinels laugh in the face of such peril. If your magnificence would permit me to use this mithril mirror, I could assemble my mercenaries and set out on a mission to destroy the Colossus. We could even rescue Luzov while we were at it. If only we had time to prepare for such a mission. This wouldn't have anything to do with the foreign airship exploding over the Wajun woodlands, would it? Yes, that airship was likely struck by the legendary divine spear of Alexander. The Age of Judgement is almost upon us. Then, what do you propose we do? I will go myself and attempt to persuade my brother to disable the Colossus. I will entrust you with another mithril mirror. Your mission will be to rescue Luzov. I am your humble servant, your magnificence, but are you sure of this plan? Perhaps it would be safer if you were to extricate Luzov instead. If I fail to convince my brother, the only other way to shut down the Colossus is by using the external controls. I am the only person trained in operating such controls, thanks to my mother's education in automaton programming. It was as if she knew such a day would come. Very well, it will be as you command, my Empress. I am the Empress no more. Yet even without that authority, will you come with me, my mercenary? Yes. I knew you wouldn't disappoint me. To hold the mithril mirror for me, Jedith, I feel safer with the mirror and myself in your capable hands. Now that that's settled, let's see about averting this catastrophe. Yes, there's no time to lose. The Iron Colossus should be found in a place encompassed in the energy of the astral condescences. Let's go, Jedith. Watch over us, Avjang, Beijing, and Rishvi. Lend us your courage. Okay. So we're going to go back the way that we came, and we're going to go to the same area. Ashmira's plea. Yes. We received an update from a patrol boat in the Guru Blue. A force of close to 50 airships has been sighted advancing on Aragon. So, they have come. So explain the appearance of the cluster of dots on the control panel display, wouldn't it, Gatsad? Yes, Grand Vizier. They appear to be moving slowly and keeping some distance from each other. They obviously fear the destructive power of the main cannon. Can we handle them all? We focused the energy of the cannon when destroying the previous target, and perhaps this time we should lure the enemy vessels as closely as possible and then fire into the fusion pattern. There's a good chance the entire fleet will be obliterated. In any case, we need to wait for the cannon to recharge. Very well, let us await the arrival of this armada and provide Alexander with a fitting tribute. We have guests. You're just in time for the fireworks, Nashmira. I came to speak with you, Rusvad. Speak with me? I see you've brought your pet mercenary along for this conversation. Jed is here as my friend. As you wish. Now, what is it you wish to discuss? I want you to stop using this automaton as a weapon of war. Should have known. Nashmira, you look forward to the completion of the Colosseum as much as anyone. That is true, but that was before I learned more about your intentions from Jedith and Lusaf. If you use this machine to summon the spirit of Alexander, the world will be plunged into Ragnarok. In the space of a single night, the Emperor will be reduced to a smoky ruin, just like the Azadal civilization before us. Ragnarok? You disappoint me, Nashmira. Servants of the underworld have poisoned your mind. The might of Alexander will flood Urgum with divine illumination and bring about an eternal peace for the Empire. This will be the true Age of Judgment. Ragnarok was merely an example of how our ancestors failed. This time, there is nothing to fear. The astral condensances that form the heart of this colossus have been created using the latest Imperial technology. We will not repeat the mistakes of Al-Zadal. Rasvat, do you truly believe you impose your will on a god? And even if you could, the peace such a god would grant us is nothing more than a farce. Our nations are formed from a gathering of individuals. It's when these nations learn to cooperate and live in harmony that we learn the true value of peace. The gods bless us when they recognize the efforts we have made. Ever the idealist, little sister. Do you not see how our empire is suffering? The authority we once wielded has all but evaporated. Our enemies constantly test our defenses, sniffing for the slightest hint of weakness like a tiger stalking a wounded Marid. Our citizens stand on the brink of oblivion, and you must learn to accept certain sacrifices in exchange for their salvation. Please, Rasvad, I know that even Jedith here would be willing to speak on our behalf. We must try to negotiate with the Middle Lands once more. It is far too late for that. A fleet of airships from your precious Middle Lands approaches even as we speak. If we do nothing, Al-Zabi will be engulfed in a sea of flame. Who knows how many of our people will die? Cogs of war have begun to turn, and there is nothing either you or I can do to stop them. But we can... Nashmira, I am resolved to be remembered as the villain in this chapter of history. You need not let it concern you. But I will tolerate no further hindrances. Rasvad! Listen to me, Jedith. I have failed to persuade my brother to change his course, but we cannot allow this Colossus to unleash another divine spear. You see that the control panel that Gatsad labors over? I've seen it before. It's much like one of the animators used to control a normal automaton. If we can somehow gain access to that box, we should be able to operate the Colossus from the outside. All I need to do is distract them for a moment. What do you think you can do, mercenary? Your pitiful efforts will change nothing. Raban, sir. Ah, Jedith, long have I awaited the chance to devour your essence. Okay, so we're on our way to a three-phase fight. Hopefully we can connect. There we go. Mithril mirror fades into nothingness. Okay, I think we're actually going to do something a little bit more specific. We're going to make this... I was going to say, let's summon specific characters, but I don't think it really matters that much, honestly. Go ahead, summon our normals. Pray to whatever gods you serve. Put Raban's back up. My skin remembers the fires of 10,000 spells. Come, burn me again. Feel the infinite power of divine might. Alexander will lead Aragon to certain victory. Has your God grant you the miracle you seek? It is not possible. Alexander, why do you not respond? The control lever! That's out. What is going on? I am Alexander. Tremble before me. Worship my greatness. That voice, it echoes within my skull. I don't understand. The class is not responding to external commands. No, it cannot be. I shall ascend to the heavens. Rosfad? Katsad, out of the way. Objing, Beijing, lend me your strength. For fighting Alexander himself. I am Alexander. The meek shall be rewarded. The defiant shall be judged. Accept thy destruction, wish for eternity, yearning for immortality. Sense thy transience. Know thy insignificance. There we go. Defeated Alexander. Tremble before me. Worship my greatness. Tremble, tremble before me. Has it stopped? You don't tremble enough. Offjing! Offjing, Meijing, thank you. Jeth, I did it! I took control of the Colossus. Never could have done it without your distraction. Thank you, Jeth. Now we have to get my brother out of there. Hoffmau! Usav? You're okay. Thank Wallara. Look, we shut down the Colossus, and Alexander is gone. There's no one left to fight. There's no need for Odin to take you over. Usav, you're finally free. Be careful, Hoffmau. Odin still lurks within me. Oh! Hoffmau! Those who fail to worship will be judged. Alexander! Excellent, my knight. Thy rage is most pleasing. Once there was a meeting of two great masses. Once again, Odin. Once again, the Age of Judgement has come. Thy demise shall be swift. Thy words ring hollow. I shall shower the earth with the shards of thine iron shell. Is this the dawn of Ragnarok? 13, 12, 11. I seek to unleash divine judgment, then Gungnir shall pierce thine intent. One of the coolest spears in the game. Ah! Once, an entity of dark. Six, 5, 1, an entity of light. Two. Their collision gave birth to a violent storm. Oh, this is freaking epic. The storm rose towards the heavens and burst into a million fragments. One. We must do this. No! Where am I? Ashmira. Asfad? Do not fear. I will not allow these deities to destroy our beloved Ottergon. What are you talking about? Your voice is so weak, Rosvad. I wanted to see your smiling face one more time. Don't go! Farewell, Ashmira. No, don't leave me! Rosvad! Rosvad! does, but... Nosh. Why dost thou sheathe thy blade? My knight, dost thou defy my lord and master? Offmouth. There are yet many things for you to accomplish. I will not let you perish here. Great Odin, Lord of the Underworld, I have defied your will, and yet I live. Why? Why do you spare me? I relinquish this pseudo-life of mine to the girl, Offmouth. It is time I return to serve you in the halls of Valhalla. Offmouth? Usav, what happened to me? Merciful Odin. There's one more I would say to you. But my time here has drawn to an end. Usav? You have a future before you, and it is not your future alone. Citizens of the Empire and of Ephraimad, you carry the burden of their hopes and dreams. Don't you leave me as well. I would follow you anywhere. You are surrounded by those who care for you, people of Argon, the highest general to the lowest foot soldier in your army. And of course, your trusted mercenary, Jedith. You're right. I must be strong. I'll be the empress that Argon needs. Never lose that spirit, Offmouth. Ah, I see the ocean. Seems my next battlefield shall be the Sea of the Underworld. Jedith. We've neglected our duties for far too long. Argon is waiting. So did Raban survive? I don't know how to feel about Gatsad. I thought he was kind of a good guy, but it seems like he was under the ploy of the Grand Vizier, so he's compliant in all the nasty stuff that's happened. kind of autopiloting there. Need to head back to the need to head back to Naja's office. Ugh. Oh! Surprise! President Naja, Jedith. Shut your trap, Apkaba. Not some time for your yapping. I never. That was rude, even for President Naja. Did I hurt your feelings? Tough. We're about to face the biggest challenge of Salahim Sentinel's history. If we're not prepared, not one of us will see the year out with our skins intact. Yes, ma'am. And you, Jedith. You think the battle's won? It's not over yet. Looks like you finally gulped down a dose of reality. And it's a good thing, too. We're about to enter a war zone that will decide the fate of this company. You see, we've had an imperial messenger from the palace. I have been formally invited to the coronation ceremony to reinstate her magnificence. And what's more, I'll be rubbing shoulders with members of the royalty, the nobility, imperial army officers, not to mention ambassadors from across Urgum. Just think of the possibilities, the business relations I could nurture. A mercenary's life is the life for me. I almost forgot, Jedith. I was asked to bring an escort to the ceremony. Who should I go with? Drill Sergeant Angelouts is busy with the academy. Apkova is busy minding the office. Poor Apkova. Who am I kidding? You know as well as I do that the request was all about. Her magnificence is still simply a girl at heart. You showed her mercenary medal out there on Nigel Isle, did you? Didn't you? I just did my job. Humility! Now that's a fine quality for a president's escort. Well, you better get preparing for your visit to the palace. If you show up late to the ceremony, I'll have your hide for a throat rug. Means I believe we have to go and change our equipment to have the Brigandine again. I need to take my weapons off. Presenting Naja Salahim, President of Salahim Sentinels. Also Salahim Sentinels, presenting an ordinary person and preventer of Ragnarok, Jedith. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Coronation ceremony of Najmir II, the 16th Empress of the Majib dynasty, will now commence. Let's begin by offering our praises to Lord Alexander, the guardian of the Empire for 1,000 years. Master of Ceremonies. Your Magnificence, it is not yet time for your address. We shall dispense with the formalities. We wish to speak with our guests directly. But, Your Magnificence, this breaks with the customary protocol. This is the second coronation, and we shall do as we please. Of course, Your Magnificence. Her Magnificence, the Empress. This girl? What? She's barely more than a child. Ladies and gentlemen, silence for the Empress. My distinguished guests, many and varied events have befallen us, and we are certain that there are those among us who hold little love for the Empire. Yet, despite all that has come to pass, you have chosen to bestow your blessings on our coronation, for which we humbly thank you. Traditionally, we would hold a grand ceremony that would span the entire nation. However, as we desired your presence and acknowledgement, this somewhat more intimate setting was devised. Families, the high-ranking officers, my business opportunities, dignitaries of the Middle Lands, we regret the fear and confusion the hostile actions of our empire have caused among your nations. We also wish to express our most profound grief at the loss of life during the incident with the destroyed airship. Lift your head, Your Magnificence. The crew members and Elven Knights aboard the Ademian were indeed badly injured in the crash, but thanks to the swift actions and expert first aid of Musketeer Najee, not a single life was lost. Truly? Then you must allow us to dispatch Imperial alchemists to aid in their recovery. They are highly skilled in regenerative procedures. We gladly accept your offer of aid, Your Magnificence. Empress Nejmira, I would like to discuss your intentions regarding the future of relations between the Empire and the Middle Lands. A worthy topic, however, I believe our first step will be to rebuild the conditions that existed between our nations before recent events. We wish to return to a neutral state of mutual non-aggression. Yes, the Beastman forces threatening the Empire have not ceased their assaults, and despite the standoff, our war with Eastern nations continues. Is it possible to know when Ottergon will once again have a time of peace? We fear that if we have strengthened our ties, that the Middle Lands will be drawn into your conflicts. You are correct, Monoles. You must not be so defeatist, Your Magnificence. I must apologize for my late arrival. Yesho! We're glad to see you back from your journey. You are too kind, Your Magnificence. Your letter to the Mikado has been safely delivered. That's where you'd gotten off to. Yes, President Naja, I hope you might forgive my unauthorized absence. Were you able to gain an audience with the Mikado? You may speak freely, Gesho. This news concerns everyone present. As you wish, Your Magnificence. The Mikado responded with these words. It will be difficult to negotiate a peace at this time. That is not unexpected. However, the Mikado also stated that he would raise the matter among the councils of lords. The East is in a land of tradition. The Mikado is not free to act as he pleases. Any decisions will require long consideration. Same may be said of the Empire, if I may be so bold. You were quite right, Gesho. A sudden imperial order, these hostilities would spark a rebellion within our eastern forces. I humbly offer my continued services as a conduit between the Empire and the nations of the East. I await your orders, Your Magnificence. Thank you, Gesho. Someone's moving up in the world. I have Jeddah to thank for my fortunes. I see Your Magnificence has begun the peace process on all fronts. Yes, we hope to ratify a treaty of friendship with the Middle Lands, even as we negotiate a peace with the East. Are we forgetting one rather colossal problem that remains? The Iron Colossus. Yes, it still remains on Nizal Isle, though badly damaged. Which means the Empire can give no guarantees that this doomsday weapon will not one day be repaired, used to threaten the peace of the world once more. The only solution to this dilemma is to destroy the device under the scrutiny of those present here today. Would you not agree? Yes, that would be the obvious course of action. Except there is more to it than just an inanimate shell. Perhaps you should let us in on the secret as well? We have detected a warp in the fabric of reality within the central core of the Colossus. A warp in the fabric of reality? What are you saying? Allow us to illuminate. It appears the giant scrap heap has become an astral gate. That's not good. An astral gate? A air portal to the underworld exists in this land. The Halzum testing grounds, I believe, though my information is secondhand. Yes, that rent is how Odin entered our world. I would think this gate to be of similar aberration, a link between the worlds of the avatars and that specific location. Would it then be possible to delay the destruction of the Colossus? It seems we have no choice. Who knows what may happen if we tamper with such unpredictable energies? Excellent! Then Windurst wholeheartedly agrees to maintain this fascinating rent. Who knows what developments in magical knowledge could be made in this endeavor, and my interest in the astral condensus is as strong as ever. The Empire thanks you. Dendaria also gives her consent. Prince Tryon has promised our full cooperation. Oh, Prince Tryon has always believed in us. I will take the matter to the Colossus home to Bastok. The president must be consulted. However, I will give Bastok's blessings to your coronation. You hardly require our permission to regain control of your own empire. Dear Volker, the Duchy of Juno agrees on the condition that the Colossus be kept inoperable to ensure the safety of our airships. Of course, we wish to have the full assistance of the Middle Lands in understanding this phenomenon. And now we shall finally commence the coronation ceremony. And who shall get the honors of bestowing the crown? We are decided. Will you perform this last duty for us, Jedeth? It would be my pleasure. Thank you, Jedeth. Gatsad, the crown, if you please. Gatsad, the crown? My apologies. The crown has been melted down. I needed it per scintillant ingot. Melted down? Have you lost your mind, man? There were parts that had to be forged. I'm sure the Empress will understand. Oh, yay! Ooh, would you not be a little bit more gentle with the recently repaired? Mei Jing? Oh, that was a lovely nap. It's good to see you, Nashmira. Jing! You've earned your pardon, Gatsad. They look as good as new. Wait, we did not give any commands. How is this possible? It's no big deal. It's a very big deal. These automatons were old models. They didn't have the independent functions of current Puppet Master automatons, and were never able to talk without direct manipulation. I took the liberty of installing high-grade memory chips that were recovered from the ruins of Al-Zadal. As soon as I had completed the repairs and enabled the circuits, they started babbling like a dam had been broken. Nashmira, that gaping look is not becoming of a young lady. Shouldn't we be getting on with the ceremony? Oh, the irresponsible Rosfad? Here's Mei Jing still retains some memories of his first owner. We had almost forgotten. Jeth was about to bestow our crown. And as you can see, the medal has been put to a more practical use. Jeth, your blessing will be all the crown we require. You have our eternal gratitude, Jedith. As do you all. And now my most trusted subject, Naja Salahim Zwan. Your Magnificence. On the occasion of our coronation, we once again officially authorize Salahim Sentinels as a legitimate mercenary company of the Empire. You honor me, Your Magnificence. Furthermore, we award your company with 1,000 Imperial Platinum pieces. 1,000 Platinum? Naja, it is thanks to you that the capital still stands at all. Your magnificence. The mercenaries you have trained, not the least of which is the heroic Jedith, have faced endless dangers in the protection of Ottergon. I have already commanded my ministers to comply with your request for independence for your home nation of Zwa. We trust you will make good use of the coin you received today to ease the poverty of your people. Your generosity is overwhelming, your magnificence. And finally, we've been saved from the cataclysm of Ragnarok, as well as a war between the Middlelands and the Empire. This peace should never have come to pass, if not for the courage and actions of Jedith. We do not know how we may repay such feats of heroism. At the very least, we wish to present you with your choice from among the family treasures of House Majab. I would please for you to take one of these rings. Jedith, the choice is yours. I believe Ulalam's ring is the one we want. Accuracy, attack, and in assault, I gain region, which is really nice. Ulalam's ring. This was the ring worn by Ulalam, a famous patriot of House Majab. Yes, I made my choice. A fine choice, Jedith. Ended with the ring? Fantastic. Jedith, from this day forward, we will be focused on learning the amounts of skills required to properly perform the role of Empress. There will be no more time for adventures. But we are glad to have had the opportunity to meet you, Jedith. Oh, we hope you continue to be Ottergon's champion. Perhaps one day. But no, it cannot be. Farewell, Jedith. Honored guests, let us show our warmest appreciation to the heroes, Naja Salahim and Jedith. Their support for Ayame and Naji has been invaluable, Jedith. I thank you on behalf of the Republic of Bastok. Prince Stride sends his regrets of not being able to attend, and also is missing the opportunity to fight by your side. And Dr. Shantoto also sends her regards. She says, don't think that fate is done with dealing your cards. Jedith, as a former mercenary, I look forward to sharing the same battlefield with you again sometime, somewhere. Here, take this as well. Hero Standard. Nice! Your continued support for Najmira is most welcome. She is the hope of our uncertain future, the true treasure of Ottergon. Sweet! Am I Agent Kellerman? No, I'm not Agent Kellerman. Why do you ask? That was an odd question, but loser Nania, maybe you got confused with somebody else. I don't know. Okay. Okay, so apparently we need to go back to Preston Naja. So, yeah, we are going to wrap up our play of Treasures of Ottergon tonight. I'm actually quite pleased with that. Look at you, standing there all pleased with yourself. I guess you feel like the vice president now, do you? I think you're letting the Empress's favor go to your head. Within this company, you're still nothing more than a superior private. That is the rank I got. You're still more than a few ranks below my position of mercenary general. But you know what, Jedith? I have to admit you've brought in some sizable rewards from the palace over the course of your career. When it comes to raking in the profits, I do believe you're on par with yours truly. Do you remember this little trinket? I do indeed. Go on, take it. You can think of it a reward from the Empress, as well as the acknowledgement of your president. And just so you don't forget, I've engraved my signature on the inside of the rim. Now, every time you put it on, you can experience that swell of gratitude. Yay, I get my glory crown back. What a happy day for you. An official thank you from Her Magnificence and the recognition of your beloved president. You might even say this is the peak of your mercenary career, if you choose to ignore that rank on your badge, of course. I wouldn't be surprised if you were looking forward to an early retirement and the start of a brand new life. Why stop now? Thank Walhara. I hate to think of what we do without you. Zip it up, Goba. But this was your last chance to break free of Salheim Sentinels. But still, you chose to remain with us. Even though the funds funneled into Salheim Sentinels have been drained by our investments in branch offices and advertising fees, even though we've been losing profits to penalty clauses paid out to contracts we couldn't fulfill for lack of manpower, even though our coffers have been sucked dry, you chose to remain with this company. Is that your final decision, Jet? I'm kind of out of here. Loyalty to the end. Well, you've definitely got some guts, Jedith. Better brace yourself for what's coming next. Abkaba! Yes, ma'am. Report the reason fees incurred by Superior Private Jet during the course of his duties. Yes, ma'am. Private Jet incurred the following support and rescue fees during his duties in Nizal Isle. Black Halo, 230 per use. 23 uses. 5,290 Imperial Gold pieces. Hexa Strike, 220 Imperial Gold pieces per use. 29 uses. Subtotal, 6,380 Imperial Gold pieces. Root Strike, 175 Imperial Gold pieces per use. 37 uses. 6475 Imperial Gold pieces. President Nadja, do we really need to use this many abilities during the battle? Of course not. These figures include all the skirmishes I had to fight before I found Jeddah. I'll tell you what, I'll have you have lesser weapon skills for free. Next! 2 bowl of Sutlak plus 1s. 3 cups of Imperial Coffee plus 1. 5 Balak Sadvik plus 1. What is all this? I had to eat something to keep up my strength during that exhausting foray. That comes under consumables, right? Next! 1 square of Wamura cloth. 1 square of Ericlect cloth. 3 sapphires. My entire didn't come through that tussle unscathed. Tailoring fees. Well, that comes out to 98,000 Imperial Gold pieces. Of course, when you calculate the accumulated interest... Oh dear, I can't bring myself to say it. And that's where we stand. Ah, my dear Superior Private Jeddah. Superior Private sounds dirty for some reason. It looks like you and I will be continuing our working relationship for some time to come. Now that we've been settled, break time is over. Take your debt-ridden rear and scoot on over to the commission's agency. Pronto! Now, just Salihine doesn't surrender her most valuable pawn so easily. All right, got the glory crown and finished up that section of Treasures of Aragon. Gonna go back to our quests. I think that's actually the end. Yep, that's all of the Aragon stretches. Matthew's done, all Zalar's done. Fantastic! I'm happy. Happy. Now, that's the end of that. There are epilogue quests. However, I can't do those yet, I'm pretty sure. So, the main story is done, but there are things afterwards. So it looks like there's things to do that require things with Odin and Alexander. I'm going to look into these more on my own time, but as far as I'm aware, we're done with that section. We're done with this, with that part of the story. We will come back and do things, because I will be doing mythic weapons at some point. Certainly doing mythic weapon skills. Oh, I think I need to actually, I don't actually have it here, I think. I think I threw it in storage. I think I did. Anyway, one way or another, we'll eventually come back to Ottergon and we'll do more stuff here. But yeah, for the story parts of it, we are done. But we will come back here at some point. So, yippee! I feel really happy about that. Let's go into our quests. And we're going to do our next quest, which is Wings of the Goddess. Wings of the Goddess progress up to back to the beginning by examining any of the covered smiles in the following locations: Tally Downs, Rollenberry Fields, or Sarmagog. We will not do that until Monday. So, now I believe we actually have the trust magic of Nadja. Yes, but it looks like if we go back to we can go get Nashmira. That's right. So I have Nashmira the second, but we also get the first Nashmira. So I couldn't tell you the difference between the two, honestly. Should you try this game, Loser Nania? If you really like Final Fantasy, yes. If you want to do an older style RPG, yes. If you're willing to pay the $12 to $13 a month and are willing to kind of just dive into it, yes. However, that's a matter of you wanting to see how much further you want to go into it. There is a lot to take in. Like any MMO, any online RPG, it is a time sink. It very much is. They've made a lot of quality choice additions to this game, so it's a lot easier than it used to be, and there's lots of helpful people. I would certainly look into it more. So I originally played this back at 2007, 8 to like 2009 to 10, and I jumped back in briefly in like 16 or something like that. Finally decided to come back to it. It has really good stories. It is an older style game though, so you're gonna have to get used to using a controller, getting that set up more or less. Using a lot of like typing commands and stuff like that, setting up macros and things like that, which I already had, but if you want to try it out, I certainly wouldn't say no. I think this is a great game. I think it's one of the better of the Final Fantasies, and there is so much content to it that you can just soak in and enjoy it a lot. Anyway, let me finish up this cutscene and then we can continue on if you're still here. We were discussing with Mei Jing and Aveng about the best way to contact you. As Empress Nashmira II, our days have been filled with audiences and our nights with formal banquets, leaving precious little time unoccupied. When we grow weary from the day's flurry of activity, we turn to the memories we shared together for comfort. We met people from all walks of life, taking in their thoughts and feelings as our own. These pure emotions from the foundation from which we have laid roots and begun to flourish once more. Yet even the most sturdy tree occasionally bears sour fruit. At such times we cannot help but feel pangs of regret. Perhaps if we had continued our adventures, we would be able to host festivals and jubilees like the emperors of old. And this is where the Trust Initiative comes in. You see, Nashmira hopes she'll be able to learn about everything in alter ego experiences, but as of now, there's no method for doing so. You were interested in the initiative. Meiji and I were asked by Juno to help test it. And of course, I jumped at the chance too, so they gave me a scroll. You should have seen the flustered look on the attendant's face as Nashmira refused to yield. I want my alter ego to travel the world, doing good for the people of Vana'diel. What more could a benevolent empress ask for? Perhaps one day you can find a way to transfer the alter ego's experiences back to Nashmira. The gentleman in Juno expressed that it would take a miracle of unimaginable proportions for such a thing to occur. Yet we trust in you. You brought miracles to Aragon, and you can do it again with my alter ego. Attempt the ritual. I'll give it my best shot. I will say that because of how old this game is, getting set up can be frustrating. There are guides to do it, but it's not as simple as installing the game and just launching. You have to set up information. You have to get the keys properly set up through Mog Station. Well, it's not Mog Station. It's Play Online. But yeah, I did it. Jeth, remember to treasure off Mao as your faithful friend. May the two of you hold fast to each other in times both good and ill. Not getting married. But we have Nice Mirror now. So, we still have some time. So, Luzernania, if you're still here, please ask questions. I'm more than willing to try and answer them and try and show you the benefits of playing the game. Because I will say, even though it can be frustrating, it is still a very fun game. It's slower paced, but I have enjoyed the story content because I did not complete it all the first time I played through it. But I have been enjoying the stories. Probably my biggest concern would be financial situation. If you have money that you're willing to burn on this game, then by all means. If you don't, like if you're financially strapped, your budgets are tight, I would hold off. Paying for a game is considered fairly rare now. Paying for a game on a monthly basis with a subscription fee of some sort, I would say is very different to, paying for a battle pass or something, But there's lots of things to do. There's so many jobs you can play. You only have to play with one character, which I think is probably like the biggest deal. That was the big thing for me. A lot of other RPG games, if you want to play different character styles, different classes, you have to make multiple characters. You can do it all in this one game with one character. They've added a bunch of quality of life stuff that kind of helps through the beginning parts of it. Once you get into the end game, then it really kicks in and the grind begins. But for the most part, no, this is very much still a good game to play. At least for the story. If you play for just the story and you don't care about much anything else, I think it's worth the cost. I've been playing it for maybe not quite 3 months, but about there. And playing it on and off stream. They do login things, so then they do login campaigns, so if you log in every day, you get points. The points can be spent on rare items, on mounts, on all kinds of fun things. The jobs are extremely varied. I haven't unlocked all the jobs yet, but there's so many. The magic is diverse, it's complex, the gear collection can be overwhelming, but for the most part, you don't avoid a lot of it until you start hitting like the very end game where you actually need to collect armors up and stuff. You need to go do certain activities, but lots of people are doing that. There's always something to do, honestly. I believe that so the servers have shrunk since I played it originally. The biggest one is right now is Ashura, which is full of mercs and is actually cut off because of the population burst that happened recently. So you can't get into that one. They have certainly cut off Bahamut now, which is the server I'm on now. There are other ones. I think Odin is the third place server, but you'll need to look that up. I would recommend trying to find a server that has a strong population. There are scattered populations among a lot of them, a lot of the smaller servers. Try and get to one that's more populated. I believe that Odin is the third biggest in population, player-wise. If you want to go whole hog and learn how to do like multi-boxing and make multiple characters and stuff, that's a giant investment. I don't recommend it personally because that's not how I am. Lots of people play that way, playing multiple characters at a time. I can't fathom doing that and having been like realistic. you know, that takes a lot of time, and you have to pay for each character per month. So rather than the 13 to 14 bucks, if you went for a full party of 6, that would be closer to like 18 bucks a month. Yikes. And you have to level up each one individually. They all have to go through the stories, all that. It just sounds like a nightmare to me. But yeah. Let's see. While we have time tonight, let's go unlock another job. Because we can. And honestly, I think it would be good. So, we have not unlocked Ranger. Ranger's actually a pretty quick one, I think. So let's go to Windurst Woods. Let's go unlock a job. And K7... Yeah, because I think you have to go up into the Mithril Conclave. Give me 1 second here. This is a game where you will have a Wikipedia open like all the time because it's so old that it's like I said, it's an older style of RPG like Ultima Online or something where things can be kind of obscure. Let's see, we need to go to K7, so we need to go this way. So having but luckily there are 2 Wikipedias available, basically have the same information for the most part. That keeps highly detailed of like, here's what you need to do quests, here's what you need to do missions, here are the characters you can get, the gear that you can receive, all that stuff. It's all in there. So, am I in the right spot? No, I'm not. No, I need to go over to Vashai's. Okay, now. Oh yeah, you need to talk to Perry Vashai. I keep saying Vashai, and I keep thinking Donkey Vashai from Pinky in the Brain. There's a Pinky in the Brain episode where that was used. I was like, Have you, my child, trod on many a land, drunk from a many rainfall, fought many a fine battle, and lived to see many a dawn? And truly I say unto you, unless you are approved by the earth and the sky, how is it you can say you are accepted by Mother Nature? If you so desire to submit yourself to the laws of nature, my child, then go, meet with the faint king of the beasts, and bring back one of his great teeth. Listen to the voice of nature and wait for nature to run her course. If nature accepts us, then even we who lack fangs will be permitted to hunt as her rangers. Okay, so this is probably one of the easiest jobs to unlock. You simply have to go out and find this, is it a tiger or something? It's like an old saber tooth, yeah. Oh, and now I get the ancient Kellerman thing that you said. Yeah, I do kind of look like him. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. So one thing that I would suggest, there is a video that I watched before I got back into the game that really made me want to get back into it. I need to find it. But, so two things, if you're interested. Number one, I would go to the Wikipedia, one of the Wikipedias. One is bg-wiki, or you go to ffcyclopedia.com. Go to either one and peruse the pages and see what shows up. If things look intriguing to you, then you can kind of look further into it. Look at YouTube videos. There was one that I watched that talked about kind of like, should you play Final Fantasy XI more or less? And it was a couple hours to watch. I watched it over a weekend. And it just talked about like the state of the game, the stories of it without really spoiling anything, and kind of getting into it. And it was like, you know what? I'm willing to kind of get into the game itself. So, you can only play it on PC. So if you don't have a PC, you're kind of out of luck. It used to be on Xbox and PlayStation, but they've been discontinued for a number of years now. Because it just was harder to keep it running on modern consoles when this was before they lost it, but they kept it on PC because PC's a lot more was a lot more viable. So you have to play it on PC. Though if you play just the normal game client-wise, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have a whole lot of you kind of want to try Rune Fencer. Ah, okay. Now, I haven't unlocked Rune Fencer yet, but I've heard it's cool. It's one of the latest jobs that released, which means very little. The game's been going for like 8 years since that, and it's kind of a tanky job, from what I understand. Now let's see. We need to go to where's the book? I'm trying to remember where the book is in this city. Winter's so little. Now, that would be interesting if it came to 14. It very much would. They have been bringing jobs from 11 and from previous games into 14, just not in the same, just not always in the same circumstance. Dark Knight is not a tank. It's a DPS in this game. Blue Mage is a full bright job in this game. You get to play a full set of stuff. Works very similar to, but it's not a limited job. Beastmaster's coming to 14 as a limited job. They've changed some things around. Red Mage is far more a caster than like the magic melee hybrid that it is in 14. Scholar is not just a healer. Scholar is kind of can either be healer or nuker if you go for black mage kind of builds. Let me see. Beastmaster is still king of the solo game, along with Puppet Master. I think this one works. I do find it interesting that Thief and Ninja are separate jobs in this game, rather than being the rogue that eventually becomes Ninja in 14. So that's something to be said. I do wonder what jobs they'll next bring into 14, because they always bring something in for each of the... Well, it's not here. For each of the expansions, but at some point, I feel like the job system is going to get so bloated, it's going to be kind of hard for them to keep up in 14. Data maintenance and storage and stuff like that has always been a concern for the game. Unless they're able to make the game up, kind of rebuild the game from it. Do I like this game more than 14? I would say I like it as much as 14. I feel like this one, in more of expression of things that you can do for jobs and job diversity, this game is far better. There are a lot more jobs, and it does have nice charm. It's, like I said, it's an older game. It was released in 2002, if that dates you at all. So it's been around for 20 plus years, and it still holds up pretty nicely. There's people who have made mods and stuff. I have mods that kind of update stuff. So in terms of story, the stories has been pretty good. But it's not just like the main story and stuff. There's a lot of other things that you can do with it. If you want more of kind of a meandering game where you kind of figure out, okay, what am I going to do today or whatever. As far as I'm concerned, the game doesn't really pick up a full head of steam until you actually get through all the story stuff. That's what I've gathered from other players. If you're just going through the story itself, just go through the stories as is, and you'll enjoy it. The trust system makes it a lot easier to solo stuff, to do solo things. But like I said, there is a lot to take in. There is so much, and a lot of it is not spelled out in the game. You have to go look it in the Wikipedia. There are so many bits of content that you can touch. I don't even know where all of it is, because you have Dynamis, you have Limbus, you have Salvage, you have Assault missions, you have, what are they called? Rewakes? There's Salvage, there's Ambuscade, there's the Esha zones, there's so much. If you get into this game, there's 20 years of content here that is not immediately open to you, but my gosh, it's something that you have to touch on everything. Now, they do have a quest system that makes it a little easier. You go into here, these records of eminence. This is the stuff that kind of gets you in. You go into the objectives, you can say, hey, here are the basics, like, yeah, it is, yeah, it's older than you. So you can imagine how tricky it would be. So for the basics, you get in here and it says, like, here's how the stuff you do, healing without magic. And they do kind of treat you in and say, like, oh, hey, here's some alter egos. Here's your trust that you can get. So they give you a handful of trusts to go. You do stuff like that. And then once you get to, like, level 99, which is the cap, then you start breaking into the further stuff. Like, here are the other areas you go to. There's all kinds of areas that you can go. Let's see. Map. So this is one. Let's go to the map. Change map. So we have the four big city states. Western Aragon, which is the east, the near east, which we got, and then there's maps of each section, and each of these areas is a map or sections of maps. Mamuaja has 3 maps by itself. Keep going on, and so I'm halfway through in terms of expansions. Just finishing Treasures of Aragon is the 3rd expansion. We will start Wings of the Goddess on Monday, which is the 4th. I believe we go back in time for that one. We go back to the Great War, the Crystal War. But you go to places like the Lands of the Gods and the Gates of Paradise, and go on ferries. You can fish, you can garden, you can train chocobos, you can ride chocobos in chocobo racing. There's as much content in 14 as there is in 11. And probably some more, because 14 is far more streamlined in terms of what content is which. They've really honed it down to a science for 14. 11 was not nearly as good because of how old it was. Let's see. And there are people who have played both. Seth Rott, who's in my channel very often when I'm playing, he's played 14 as well. He's played 11 just as long and stuff. Yeah. Oh, good. No, 14 is a good game. I would say it's probably one of the best games, and it's honestly worth the cost for a minimum of the story, playing through the raids and stuff like that. I'm kind of playing this to kind of fill in the gaps. I noticed that 14, I will typically get a burnout on 14, or at least need a break from it, kind of halfway through an expansion. When you hit about the X.2, X.25 is usually when I need to take a break from the game. Because I think just going into the game over and over, doing the same thing over and over gets kind of... And it might be for this game as well. Typically online games, if it doesn't keep like a story progression or something that kind of keeps me going, I tend to burn out on it. If I'm doing things on a daily basis, I'll burn out. So, certainly a matter of gauging that on your own. Was it Winter's Waters? Maybe it was Winter's Waters. No? In Winter's Waters. Yeah. Understand that it's getting things set up. Oh, thank you.
Welcome to the Lancers.
I really do appreciate it, Nania. If you're not sure, or you want to keep ops, I play this Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So please come in and watch the game as I play. And if I see you in the chat, I will try and kind of bring you a little bit more up to snuff of what's going on. I won't tell you everything, but I will kind of do that. Actually, you know what? Let's stop fluffing around. Let's actually figure out where we're supposed to go. So let's go to North Sandoria. Originally, when this game came out, the teleport system was not here. You had to run everywhere or get a mount. Mounts fairly new. You still had to ride chocobos and all kinds of stuff. There's no flight in this game, other than the airships. The airships basically act like a yeah. Please come on in, ask questions, engage me with dialogue, whatever. Please do. I love being able to talk with people with streams and stuff like that. So yeah, I hope to see you Monday. It'll be Monday evenings. I usually start a couple hours before. Let's see. It's roughly 3 hours before this actually. So take a look at that time in relation to you, and you can go like, hey, this is what it is. But you followed me, so you know when I'm going to be live. So yeah. While we're here, let's go. Let's see. Argano, when you do campaign, there are a lot of things that have made this game far easier to play solo-wise. The trust system is huge, and honestly, it's so great. Oh, please let them come in as well. Please, I really do recommend it.
Welcome to the Lancers.
BT Lokai, please. I hope to see both you and Nania Monday evening when I get into this game. When I get into this, playing this again, and you can come see what the game's like and everything. So please. Now it said it was at it is at L10. Okay, so you have to get up on the cliff. Now, your experience will be a little different than mine. I've went ahead and I've tweaked my game a little bit with some stuff. Further, we can get into that. But because this is specifically retail client, there are certain things that I'm not allowed to show you, and things I'm not allowed to I really shouldn't talk about because I don't want to get in trouble. It is TOS breaking related stuff, so take that as you will. If you play 14 and you play, yeah. What the chocobos look like? No. Yeah, I can show you what the chocobos. They actually look very similar to 14 and stuff like that. Once I have finished up this cutscene, I'll go run to a chocobo stables and show you what one of them looks like. You can raise a chocobo in this game, and it's not exactly the same as 14. 14 had you receive a chocobo, and then you could train it to be kind of like a companion. This one, you get it from egg, and you actually raise it to adulthood. So it's a different system. You will by far get a mount by that time. So I have items, key items, I think. So I have 2 mounts currently. You get a raptor companion, so you get a companion mount. So this is a tiger mount that I got, but you can also get a raptor mount. If you go into the Wikipedia pages, you can see what other mounts you get, but you can get things like a giant crab, you can get one of the mini crabs. A lot of enemy types that you see in 14, the model started out in 11. So if you see things like the bats or let's see, some of them are different. Coorals look very different, but they do have kind of this similar setup. There's a lot of ingrained systems into this. Okay. Yeah, while we're talking here, I believe I have to wait for a few minutes for this to happen. So, the Wikipedia will be your friend and companion with this game. I believe I need to go back this way. Believe me, if you both are interested, it'll make the game easier because there'll be two of you. Doing solo, there's a lot of things that are nice solo-wise, but having somebody else play it with you will make it easier because you can help each other. Now let's see. It says here, go up the cliff at L8. Right. Examine the tiger bones in the cave to spawn the old saber. Okay. So you will start out with 6 jobs available to you, and they're jobs. They're not classes like in 14. You will start out with jobs. Start out with warrior, monk, thief, white mage, black mage, and red mage. Yes and no. So the game still has a population. In fact, it's been getting a boost in population because of the Echoes of Vana'diel collaboration rates. So that's what first prompted me going like, I wonder what 11 is like playing again. And then I watched the video and was like, okay, I'm getting back into 11 because I played it previously. The game still has a population. However, it is a little misguided because there are people who multi-box. So basically, they are able to set up multiple instances of the game and have multiple characters. So you will see people running around kind of in a huddle. It's one player with 6 characters lined up playing with scripts and stuff. That's not highly advertised because it's very bad against TOS. Okay. Okay, so that's the old Sabertooth. We need to make sure that I don't disturb it anyway. Are there people still playing the game? Yes. There's still a healthy population for the servers. Like I was saying earlier with Nania, the problem is that the population has kind of clumped together to a couple of servers specifically. And there's no such thing as world hopping in this game. That is a new technology that came with 14. So you can't jump to another world or something like you are stuck to the world that you make a character on. If you want to move to another one, you basically have to start a new character, new startup from scratch all over. You can't transfer money, you can't transfer items or anything. It all stays on one. So Ashura is the strongest one. It's currently locked right now because there's an overpopulation of characters. A lot of it is merc. A lot of people don't like Ashura because there's lots of mercantile stuff. You basically are paying people to do content with you, rather with like in-game currency or something, rather than just doing it because you want to help. Bahamut has recently closed off because of the surge of player interest in the game. It's getting a little bit of that from Asura because Asura has been blocked off. I would look and see if you can find out information on server population stuff. I believe Odin was the next biggest one, but there are populations on some of the other ones. My original character was on Ragnarok. I started fresh for the streaming thing. I actually had an original character. My first one was on the Ragnarok server, and I started that one out straight, unlocked all the jobs, leveled everything up to like 30, the 37 to 40 mark, back when it was level 70. Where is this tiger? Is it still making its way along here? I am the Elven race, yeah. So I have to wait until the Sabertooth dies, which takes a long time. It takes 3 Earth minutes. Like I said, there's a lot of information. 14 is far smoother and far more streamlined. This game has a lot of, I wouldn't say jank, but a lot of complexity to it. So I am the Elven race, and it would be Elven. You have the 6 races to choose from, and some of them are pretty similar to what we get in 14. You have the Elven race, which is the Elephants in 14. You get the Humes, which are the humans. Which are the Hurons, my mistake. There is just... there is the Galka, which would be kind of similar to what the Rugadins are like, but they're only male. I think they're kind of asexual, is kind of how the game plays it as. There is no gender. There are no, like, specifically male or female. That's not how the species works. And then there's Mithra. The only character you can play is female for Mithra, which are the Mikote, basically. There are male Mithra, but they're extremely rare. They would be a little bit like how the Viera are handled. In terms of lore, how the females are far more wide and varied as opposed to the males who kind of are recluse, if that makes any sense. I think you run into a male Mithra in Wings of the Goddess, I think. One of the very few ever mentioned in the game. So they're extremely rare. But you can play as the Taru, which are the Lalafels. They have weird speech proclivities with them. The Beastmen are all here in different shapes. The Sahagin look different. Their smaller swatter look more like imps. You have Quadavs, you have orcs, you have the Yagudo, which are big birds, kind of like the Ixal. Let me think here. But yeah, I would certainly take a look. The character creation is rather sparse, I will say. There's enough variety that you don't, but you keep running into like the same character models at times. There is a modding scene to the game, but it's far more sparse because this is all running on PlayStation 2 tech, more or less. Yeah, here's the Yagudo. So this is the, it's far more region based. So I am on one continent, which is all Windurst and, which is a Windurst kind of region. So you stick with the Yagudo there. But yeah, let me go into town and show you. So I'm on Bahamut, so you won't be able to play with me. They've recently locked it from character creation because the population's gotten big enough. So sadly you can't join me in game or anything like that. You will have to be on a different server. Unless you wait. They might open up Bahamut in future if the interest kind of dies down. I don't know when that is. And honestly, because of how long the game is and how much content there is, I don't expect it to unlock it anytime soon, unfortunately. So I would say you probably have to go look at the populations, but I would say Odin is probably the third. That might have changed. Whatever server you get on, there will be probably a big enough there will be a big enough population that you will be able to do some content. You won't be able to do all of it, though. There is content where you can't summon your trusts. You have to play it either solo or actually with people. There's not many. There is not a whole lot of that early on. I think the earliest is the assault missions, which is unlocked in Treasures of Aragon, 3rd expansion. So, but yeah, there's content that is still being kind of thrown out. And the game is still being updated. So we just had this last a couple weeks ago. We had the Harvest event, which had free items and jack-o'-lanterns and fun music and stuff like that. The login campaigns happen roughly every month, and you get some items from that. But yeah, there's all kinds of things you do. Let me bring this up. So. Job levels. I don't have everything unlocked, but here's what I have so far. Because of everything that's happening, it's not hard to level up to level 60 to 70 is when you get your first little bit of slowdown. But with experience springs and with doing things for Rhapsodies of Vana'diel, which is kind of like the end game storyline stuff. Samurai is my favorite. Yes. So. Were you playing 14 back when it first started, back in like 2.0 and stuff like that? When we had Well, we had 3, because it wasn't TP, was it? Maybe it was. Because you had HP, you have MP, and then you had TP. It's what you used when you sprinted and stuff like that. They have something different in this game. Here, let's get in. Let's show you the chocobos. Samurai is currently my favorite because it is the weapon skill master. Oh, okay, fair enough. So originally when 14 launched, it tried launching kind of like 11. It kind of had the same systems and it was slow and it didn't do well. The game industry had moved on enough. If you have seen clips, so good, then you kind of know what 1.0 was like and what 2.0 was. So originally, when you did it, you had 3 things that you had to worry about. So you had tactic points. When you used your skills, you used up tactic points, and it regened fairly quickly. When you used sprint, you used up everything that you had. When you were revived, when you were raised, you had to regain it, so you couldn't really attack or anything. I'm glad they removed the system. It's different in this game. So you have your HP, you have your MP, and then you have your TP. So if you look down at the bottom right, which should be down there, you can see where my health point is. You'll see that there is another thing there. Let's see. Where is it? Combat skills. I'm trying to see where it is. Status, equipment. So in this game, you auto attack. So if you played something like Xenoblade Chronicles or something like that, or like Final Fantasy 12, it's auto attack stuff. So you auto attack. Certain jobs, certain pieces of equipment will allow you to attack multiple times in a row, but that's what you do. As you do that, you build up these tactic points. Once you hit over 1,000, then you can use a weapon skill. Go into weapon skills, and these are all the ones that I have for Samurai. Now, unlike 14, there is a weapon that every job is the best at, but they are not limited to the one job. I can take off my weapon in this game. That's how different it is. I can take this off. So I'm walking around without a weapon. At this point, I actually would attack things with my fists, and it would be hand-to-hand combat. Also, I can wield other weapons. This is a polearm. Dragoons are best at polearm, but Samurai can do them too. Certain weapons, you can change them around. I can wield a staff. Water staff, mage's weapon. I can wield a staff. And there are weapon skills with it. So weapon skills are based on weapon, but they're not necessarily limited to class. Now, equipment is different across the board. Most times you will not find another job wielding great katanas, which is what Samurai use. But for Samurai, I like Samurai the most because of the options that it kind of gives me in terms. So it has 2 stances. They have Seigen and they have Hasso. Seigen allows for Third Eye, which Third Eye is in 14 in a fashion. You basically pop it when you're going to take a hit, and you'll take a little less damage, and then you could originally heal with it. I think they changed it around how it works now. They might have removed it, in fact. But basically, it makes it so that I can anticipate enemy attacks, and I can usually counter them. Seigen makes it so then the buff happens more often. Hasso is more like would be an accuracy and strength enhancement, so it allows me to attack things more often, and it just is a great enhancement as an of itself. Let's see. There are gear sets, so I have sets here. The Flama Gambira set. I have 4 pieces of it, but they have a set that as you hold the set, it increases your strength or whatever. So there's sets of that. There's different rings. There's all kinds of gear. The jobs in question are interesting. You can always take a look at those. I'm actually going to play all the jobs. So if you are interested in a particular job at some point, I will be playing it and kind of give you an idea of what it's like. I can give you a rundown right now. Let's go see our chocobos. So every place has a chocobo stable. Here are the chocobos. So they actually look pretty good. But you can get chocobo chicks. There is one that you can get as a trust. Yeah, they look really good. They look very good in this game. You can actually have a chocobo chick. It's called Sakura, I think, as a trust. It's one of the rarer trusts. But it is a literal chocobo chick that follows around and just helps you. Doesn't attack or anything. It plays as a job called a geomancer, which does like area effect and auras and things like that. Haven't unlocked it yet. But yeah, as you can see here, there's other people playing. So here's somebody who's playing geomancer. They've got this a lovely big hat here. There's somebody who's playing, it looks like Dark Knight here. Yep, Dark Knight. Got someone who's playing probably Dragoon, if I had to guess. Dragoon. We got someone here who could be playing any number of things. Red Mage. Playing a Red Mage. Now, they've also master leveled, which is different. So every job more or less has its different things. Let's see. I think this is a Corsair. This is a Corsair. So a Corsair would be kind of like a little bit like Machinist. Corsair is another support job. Uses ranged attacks, swords, knives, rolls dice to give buffs to the party. You got thieves that have sprint and can have a better range of getting items with treasure hunter. You got paladins who can wield the light, are great tanks, all that stuff. Yeah, let's see. So back to the jobs. The jobs that I have right now, so I don't have all of them, but there are some here. So Warrior, basic tank to start out with. It's great as a sub-job class. Sub-jobs are not really talked about in 14. Basically, a sub-job, first you have to unlock it at level 18, I think. It will then allow you to equip a secondary job that you get half value of. So, as of right now, I'm level 99. Therefore, my sub-job is locked to 49. When you master a job, you can slowly start raising that up. And I think the max is 59. But basically, it allows me to have the lower parts of that job along with the stuff that I have now. So I'm sub warrior right now. So I have, for job abilities, the job traits, I gain stuff from it like the resist virus, the fencer, smite. I think I get the max HP boost as well. The job abilities, mine starts out with my 1 hour ability along with all the jobs under it. So all these ones from Miyako Shishui down are samurai. All these ones up are warriors. So do that. If you did it with like monk, then I would have things like footwork and focus and meditate and things like that. Puppet Master, I think. That target's out of range, but he is not. Puppet Master. So Puppet Masters have a automaton that they run around with. If you were in the stream long enough that you saw Avjang and Meijing, they're puppets. Hand-to-hand masters with a customizable pet, basically. Pets in this game are far more have far more use and customization than they are in 14. 14, they're just kind of add-ons now. You can do far more with pets in this game. You can see there's a lot of people here. The classic red mage here, there. You can't change your jobs whenever you want. You have to talk to a Moogle to do it. So either as a nomad Moogle or in a Moogle house. Luckily, they're fairly easy to get to. Let me go ahead and show you mine, because we're going to stop in here. Yeah, so like I said, if you're coming from 14, if you're going back to 11 from 14, you're going to have to get used to some stuff. So here's the Moogles. Look pretty good, don't they? Not nearly as big-palmed or big-headed as they are, but they're still very respectable. So you have storage. So I have all kinds of things. Yeah, they're very round. They're very nice. Let's see. I wanted to grab, where was it? Ah, here it is, the Einstein clip. All right, there we go. They do have a glamour system in this game. It is a little, not erratic, it's just a little different. Rather than like the glamour chests and stuff we have, they have something called equip sets. So I have a samurai glam set up right here, and it's showing the artifact armor. This eventually is going to get upgraded to the relic armor that I get out of Dynamis, which has more of a gold rather than the orange on the armor. But you can change this to be other stuff. And then there's also an equip thing. So this would be kind of like the weapon, the gear sets that you have in 14. So this has all the gear that I have currently. I can set it up in a macro, so then I just hit the macro and it just equips all of this. I actually want to change that. Edit. And we want to say, keep that Eisen grip in there. So even though I took my headgear off, I still have it on because it's a glamour piece, basically. So there are a lot of items that people have with those. If you do gardening, there are no player housing in this game. There's no player housing. There is the player houses of your Mog houses, which are specific to whatever nation you're at. So going into a Mog house does not show you your room unless you're at the nation in question. Minus Sandoria, this is Juno, so this is a guest room. So I can't change anything about the look of this room in any way, shape, or form. But if I go to the one in Sandoria, I can. You can do gardening in the chests and stuff like that. You get little flower pots and you like give them water crystals, I think. And they will grow, so you can gain items from that. They've unlocked the Mog garden, which you get at some point, which is kind of like I've heard it compared to Chew Garden from Sonic. Kind of like that. Kind of its own thing. Yeah, you can see people wearing carbuncle hats. Carbuncle hats. This is what I mean by glamour. So you can kind of look how you want. Okay. That was fun. That was good. I'm glad that we got that stuff done. Yeah, and Monday night we will continue on with the next story, which I'm very curious about. I will also have access to unlock 2 new jobs, Dancer and Scholar. They are part of the next expansion too. So I've been noticing a lot of parallels between 14 and 11. I'm pretty sure they took a lot of inspiration from 11 stuff, and 11 with a lot of the quality of life updates, they've taken it from 14, more or less. Would it be for you to unlock Rune Fencer? Not necessarily that hard. I haven't gotten there yet. I have actually not been unlocking jobs until I get to the expansion where they're in, and we have to like wait on something. So the first bunch of jobs, so Rune Fencer is part of Seekers of Adolin. That is basically the last big story expansion. There's one more after that, as well as Rhapsodies of Vandal, but I digress. I think there's a couple things that you have to do to get Seekers of Adolin going. Here's the big difference. You do not have to play the expansions fully in order. So it's not like 14 where you have to play A Realm Reborn and then Heavensward and then Stormblood. You can immediately jump in once you get the qualifications to jump right into Seekers of Adolin, the last one. Originally the last one, I mean, I haven't even finished my nation missions, which are the first missions that you do for the base game. You basically only have to get up to rank 6 in those. They go up to rank 10. Having not played WoW, I don't know. And welcome, Lavender Cat. Please, come on in. I'm actually going to be finishing here. So if you're interested in the game, please come back Monday evening or Wednesday evening or Friday evening next week. That's when I play it. And I'm happy to try and answer all kind of questions. Because I played 1411, I like drawing comparisons. We actually just had some characters from 14 in terms of names in Treasures of Aragon play. We had some of the Mamulja from Aragon because that's where they originally are from. So we had some of the names like Bakulja and some of the characters from there, as well as Raban. Raban is one of the immortals underneath the Grand Vizier in Treasures of Aragon. They use his name. It doesn't look at all like Raban from 14, though. He was a blue mage. So very different. Anyway. So yeah, my throat's kind of sore. I'm out of water, and we're also kind of out of time. So if you want to see what this game is kind of like, please jump in next Monday when I'm playing. I'm happy to answer any questions. To play one character, it will cost roughly the same as it will to play one character on 14. So keep that in mind. So if you're playing 14, you kind of want to take a break from it, stop paying for it, start paying for this one, and jump into this game. In terms of jobs, let me go over a quick rundown what we have. So we have Warrior, plays much as the tank that you'd expect. Tanking's a little different in this game. You have to build enmity, but your skills are not necessarily built around enmity. It's usually about your gear and using provoke and using certain spells and stuff like that. So tanking in this game can be harder. For solo play, you can have a trust. There's a tanking trust that they give you. He's probably one of the best in the game, starting right out the bat. He's amazing. Monk is the typical hand-to-hand stuff, far more DPS-based, extreme health pool. White Mage, a lot of healing, a lot of buffs. Instead of using Asuna like you use in 14, you actually use different spells. Let me bring up my spell lists. Magic, White Mage, White Magic. You get different spells. So if you get poisoned, Poisona. If you get paralyzed, Paralina. Blinded, silenced, petrified. You get virus or disease. Disease or plague. If you get cursed, they use holy magic at times. They cast Protect and Shell, which they have removed from 14 cents. They get Stone Skin, which they've also removed from 14. Aqua Veil, it's more like giving yourself multiple shadows. It gives you 2 or 3 free hits. Immediately casted. It's destroyed if AoE attack happens. If spells against certain elements, so you can make it so then you're resistant to more to wind stuff or ice. All kinds of stuff. You get into those places where you can actually imbue elemental damage to your weapons with Red Mage, so you can make it so then your weapon attacks also do fire damage and stuff. Yes. I feel like it is because there is an erase in this game. It's far more expensive to do it. And it might not always work. And yes, there's not a whole lot in 14. That's also more streamlined to the point of if you don't get hit by stuff, you're not going to deal with it a whole lot. If you get blinded in this game, there's far more chance that you will lose because you also have to build accuracy in this game. Your equipment is not geared towards your job specifically, unless it says a job-specific equipment. Unless it says, for my example, if it only says Sam gear equipment, it only says that Sam can equip it. More than one job can wear it. So let me go to my equipment. If you look in here, go down to the bottom. If you look down the bottom here, Warrior, Paladin, Dark Knight, Samurai, and Dragoon can all wear this gear, this armor that I'm wearing right now. All jobs can wear this one here. All jobs can wear this. Sam can only wear this. All jobs. And then it's limited to certain ones. So to remove detrimental effects in this game is far more important because it's not as active combat as 14 is. It's more of a passive, and then you jump in and do stuff. If you're a caster, if you're like a healer or something like that, it is a little bit more, because you will not be able to just throw a region on somebody and have it be good. If you play support jobs, you will be doing far more, making sure that you have party buffs going and everything like that. As a max of 6, it can be very interesting. Let me start again. The way the game originally was when I played it back in the 75 level cap era, which was a long time, you had to party up with people and you had to go do leveling parties. It's not necessarily as necessary as it is now. You will party up with people for later content, as well as doing capacity points, which is like the second tier of leveling after you get to level 99, because the experience gain is different. So when you get in, you play up to level 99, having to do limit breaks to unlock higher level caps for yourself specifically to get up to level 99. Once you do that, when you hit level 75, you hit merit points, which you'll earn. And merit points, actually, when you actually spend my merit points, you can use to enhance your attributes certainly. So I've been adding this, so I'm going to raise so I can get more merit points in. So you go in here and you can go to your combat skills. You can say, I want my dagger skill or my sword skill to get better, or my polearm to get better, or something like that. I can go into job-specific stuff. So I'll go down to Samurai and says, here's the recast for, my Zanshin attack rate, which is basically a second chance to attack if I miss the first attack. Here's my store TP effect, which makes then I get more TP with each hit. There is a giant amount of customization with it. Once merit points kind of get up, then you start going to job points. This is job specific. So as I play Samurai, I'm putting points into this, which is enhancing my job. As it goes on, it's unlocking gifts. So I have a physical defense, I have capacity point bonus, I have physical attack. Capacity point is equivalently the job points, same thing more or less. Once I get up to a high enough job, I'll actually have it mastered, and I'll get a star above my head and all kinds of fun stuff. Where is it? It's down here at the bottom, I think. Here it is, mastered. Mastered, and then there's other benefits that I get from it. So you can enhance your job even further, and then I think it goes to even further than that, which is basically master levels upward, which you can get up to like level master 50 or something. Yes, if you play as a mage in this game starting out, it's going to be a little rougher for you because you have to buy all your spells. They don't give it to you as you level up. You have to go buy your spells and use them on yourself to learn the magic. This is why it's an older style. If you were going to start this game and interested in getting into it, I would recommend going into a melee job to start with. You can always go back into a mage job later, but you need to get up a little bit of wealth on your own to be able to go like buy the spells. You can buy a large majority of them from shops, and the first level 30 to level 40, something like that. The scrolls are not too expensive. I think you'll have to pay like 10,000 or something for a scroll, more or less on average. When you start getting to some of the more rare stuff, phalanx, some of the spells for ninja to use their ninja tools, sometimes those get pretty expensive. Refresh, which gives you MP back during combat, and is the most important spell for the red mage to get as soon as possible at level 49. That one's kind of rare. Yeah, so you have to learn the magic as you go. There's more magics than usual. So there's white mage, which so there's multiple jobs that can access white magic. There's multiple jobs that can access black magic, and different parts of it. Songs are bard specific. They're their own magic spells. Ninjutsu is ninja specific. Summoning is for summoners. You get to summon all the avatars in this game. So you can summon Ifrit, you can summon Ramu, you can summon Alexander, you can summon Odin, you can summon Diablos, you can get all these jobs. So Summoner is probably a lot better in this game. You start out with Carbuncle, but then you can work on and getting all the other ones. I eventually will do that on stream. Blue Magic, same as you think. You go out and you attack monsters and you get jobs with that. Gives you different traits with combinations and stuff, so you can actually have multiple spells that you get for Blue Mage. Geomancy, you get spells for Geomancy, which does kind of what you would expect. And then you get the trust magic, which is summoning up these different characters. So you have your tanks, you have DPS, you have, which could be ranged or a different kind of weapons and stuff. There's a whole list of characters. You get ranged characters, you get magic casters, you get healers, you get support characters, usually bards, you get geomancers. Those you all kind of find, but they give you a token number to start out with, and they will do you fine for quite a while. You gain them as you go through the story, as you do login campaigns and stuff. There's 105 trusts, I believe, to do, so there's a lot of trust to go get. Anyway, there's a lot to get into this game. If you have more questions, please do come back to the stream again. I play this Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If you don't catch me on those days, you can go looking in the YouTube archive down in the About Me page. I do have a link there. I have been putting all my VODs there. So if you'd like to rewatch some of what I've done, you can. It's not going to be... It's going to be focused on story, but I've also unlocked jobs and stuff like that, done artifact quests and stuff. So there is stuff there. If you want more answers specifically from somebody who's experienced both games, try and catch me on stream. One, it'll be interesting to just talk with people and get their impressions and stuff, as well as just being able to let you guys experience it. So, when you start out the game, you will have access to like 16 jobs that you can get. You'll have the 6 that you have unlocked at the beginning, and then you can go unlock a bunch of the other ones. Treasure of Argon is when you unlock Blue Mage, Puppet Master, and Corsair. Wings of the Goddess, you get Scholar and Dancer. And Dancer is not ranged. Dancer is a support class and melee. So you use knives. And a lot more interesting than dances. And then Seekers of Adeline will get you Rune Fencer and Geomancer. Nania, if you want to do Rune Fencer, I can kind of look up you can look up through the Wikipedia kind of how to do it. It really shouldn't be that hard necessarily. It just won't be something that you can do really quickly. It's going to be a later job that you get, if that makes any sense. So, anyway, I'm going to say it off here. So, thank you for Nania and for... Oh, your partner's name? I'm sorry, I can't remember what it is. Please, thank you for the follows. I hope to see you Monday. I really do. I very much enjoy playing this game and being able to experience this stuff because I didn't get to experience it when I played before. So it's all new to me at this point, more or less. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. I hope you do well. I hope you're able to stay safe, spend time with family, eat some good food, enjoy the fall colors while we still have them. I think we're going to lose them in the next couple weeks, unfortunately. But yeah, that's kind of what it's going into right now. Whoop. Let's see, where's it? There it is. Whoop. Oh, that's the wrong button. Sorry. Anyway, so I hope to see you guys there at Lavender. I hope you hope to jump back in as well. I'm happy to answer your questions and stuff and kind of show you the comparisons between the two. So yeah, I will hope to see you guys sometime next week in the evenings. Until then, I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight because we've actually pushed over by half an hour, but I was happy to do it because you guys had questions and you wanted to find out more about it. So, and Nania, you would be using a great sword as a rune fencer. You'd be using a great big sword. So, anyway, I would like to say goodnight. I'd like to say take care. I hope to see some of you guys back in my stream on Monday evening, or Wednesday evening, or Friday evening if you can't make a one previously. And yeah, we're gonna get into Wings of the Goddess. I'm excited. Next expansion, new areas. This will actually go back in time, I think. That's what I remember from the games. We actually go back in time. So, anyway, once again, I will say good night. Take care, have fun, stay safe, and I will see you all next stream. Bye-bye.